All right, Shalom. We're Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out to prophesy the downfall and destruction of this wicked and sinful kingdom called America. All right, before we go any further, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Heavenly Father's only begotten Son.
Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Karkadash.
Double honors to Apostles, great millstone. Shalom to the leg. All right, we're going to get right on into it. Got it, bro.
2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine.
Yeah, so the scripture is telling us what? To teach the word, preach the word. It's not saying go back and forth with these different guys on these different podcasts, man. All right? Like we saw before we turned the camera on, these guys really all about clout. The Lord told us to go out here and preach his word. Okay? It's not about us. But Jake want to make, this truth old. What they say, GMS make the truth boring, right? Well, look, that's what it's about. When you're working, all right, you're focused on the task at hand. You ain't got time to be pulled here, pulled there. Oh, I got to go over here and do this and do that with these people. No, man, the Lord said, preach his word and be instant. Be ready. You know? You got guys in the other camps not even fucking ready, man. Oh, rank. Talking about rank. Come on, bro.
Right, what type of weight does that hold?
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Yeah, rank is just for order.
Yeah.
You know? But that's what the other guys are pushing out here. You know, the water Yahweh Bashmi shot for our apostle elders, great millstone, man. Jeremiah 3:15 comes to mind. He said, they will feed you with pastors according to his heart, his mind. And his work to perfection, man, because now we're out here speaking. Now we out here reproving our people, rebuking them with the word. And that's the main reason why people want us off these highways and byways. That's why they mock, they scoff. What that Maxwell reject say? You know, the dude who I put in group chat, he like Maxwell a little bit, the singer. Oh, my. Not in my city.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
The dude from Raleigh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
Yeah, he was, fruitcake.
He was raised by his mom.
You can tell.
He liked girls, but he was raised by his mom.
But even then, you know, you got some Jakes that was raised by their mother, they still won't like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
North Carolina, though. They a little weak down here. You can go outside and not worry. You can leave your doors open at night. And, you live in the country.
That's true. You know? Shit, in the mountains, you got to worry about a bear coming in, not a thief. You got it out.
Verse 3, for the time will come, and they will not endure sound doctrine.
And this is the sound doctrine, man. The time has come. Our people are rejecting the words of the Heavenly Father. Somebody hold Proverbs 1 on deck, Baba Shah, and we'll start around the 20th verse.
It's getting too hard for them.
Yep.
They can't deal with the opinions of others. You know? The world, the opinions of the world, is swaying their minds. They're worried about what, people who are sodomites got to say about them. People who are non-believers. Did you mean to seek love?
Wow, 144. What it for? Wow, that's spirit.
Yeah, the 144,000 men. Was it Revelation the 14th chapter? They shall have the sound doctrine of the Lord. You brother got it.
Get it.
You done with that one?
Bring your precept. We'll come back to it. Bring your precept.
This is Romans chapter 10, verse 14.
Yep.
How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?
Right. How are they going to hear without a preacher, man? That's why the office of a prophet is very important, man. You got to put your life onto this back burner, man. You have to lose your life for your Hawashai's sake, as the scriptures say. These guys are trying to do both. You can't do both, man.
Yeah, we have to preach.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody had to do it. You know, the lot of the prophets, the lot of the priesthood. Right, that's very important. Right, we're coming to the realization that Yahweh Shai is. We've come into the realization that Yahweh Shai is the only way out of here. You know, He did it. Right, He said, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for broad is the gate, and narrow is the way that leadeth onto life, and few there be that find it. But broad is the way, right, that leadeth on to destruction, right, and many be that go in thereat." Right, we're seeing that those who stay steadfast to the ministry, small and few, when it comes to this Israelite thing of ours, all these different camps, it's coming to the realization, through prophecy coming to pass, right? You should see it. You know, the good fruits of Yahweh by Shema Shai are shining as lights in the world.
That's right.
You know, it's not of us, but we were set up to preach, right, and to gather in the elect of Yahweh by Shema Shai through this ministry, through this labor that you see,
Yep.
right? But soon all this breaking down the scriptures wrong, you know, coming up against the ways of Yahweh by Shema Shai, mocking and scoffing, it's going to be seen that it's going to lead to a time with Jacob's trouble where you're not going to have any type of remedy. You know, it's all leading to a time like none other, where a harsh judgment is going to fall upon a large majority of our people.
That's right. And we here to warn the people that a harsh judgment is coming. But you know, the people's ears are dull of hearing, and they have eyes they see not. Verse 15. And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written.
Yeah, there's prophets. They ran they prophesied, but I sent them not. Be not afraid of them. That's what the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai warned us about. You know, there should be heresies in the last days. You know, Peter warned us about the false prophets that would arise. You know, as there were false teachers amongst us, beware that there should be false teachers among you. You know, who should bring in damnable heresies, even denying Yahweh Shai that bought them. You know, the heathen can be saved all of a sudden in 2025. What they got to be saved from? They're trying to build a dystopian future and a utopian future for the haves, right? And a dystopian future for the have-not.
Right.
And you're not partakers of that that earthly kingdom that they want to build down here upon the earth, right? That's ran by the spiritual demon Satan. You got it.
And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace.
You see the path that we're on leads to a beautiful place. Yep. The kingdom of heaven. Right? And these are they that came out of great tribulation, that stood stiffly for the name of the Lord, who aren't being swayed by the crowd to do wickedness. You see?
It makes you think about when Jeremiah rebuked Hananiah. You know what I'm saying? When he was talking about how, peaceful times was coming, you know?
Jeremiah 27, 28.
Yeah, yep. Made me think about that. Because these guys are coming in that spirit, man.
Yeah, we wish it was peaceful times coming. Don't nobody want to go through hard times.
Right.
You think we want to, but it gotta get done. It's the only way. Yahweh Shai said, this is the way. This is the way. It pleased Yahweh to bruise him. You know, if ye be partakers in his sufferings, right, then are ye treated as sons and not bastards. You got a bunch of unruly, bastards, running around in Israel. Men that don't want any type of order, right? Doesn't want to come under the stewardship. What do you think it means to be a disciple? There is a discipleship, under Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai wasn't just friends with everybody. Yeah. No, you was coming under a discipleship when you follow Yahweh Shai, not to be friends.
Yeah, and words are powerful. They got this is nigga university. That's what they.
even YouTube got a better name than that. At least it's called the Streamer University. They have a better name. Streamers.
Yeah.
Got a better reputation than the so-called Israelites that put on the t-shirt garments on. You know, saying that they're up next to rule.
Right.
If you was up next to rule, it'd be a Kid and Play party. You know, a Kid and Play movie. Just a dark room dancing. You know, dark as hell in that room.
How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things.
Yeah, bring glad tidings of good things, the kingdom, man. You know, but like Brother Isaiah was going into, hey, look, this is the way to it. You got to work to rest. Jake just want to rest. You know?
Yeah, anything done in excess is, can lead to, harming yourself, you know? You can't go too extreme on any metric, but we'll rather go too far than not far enough, when it comes to serving Yahweh by Shemal Shah. These guys don't want to go far enough.
Right.
You know?
Because...
you gotta go ahead. What do you think?
That takes discipline. And a lot of these guys, these other camps, they that's one thing they're lacking is discipline, man.
Temperance.
Yes.
They're like an unbridled horse that hasn't been humbled yet.
Yep. Broken in, yeah. They're house niggas.
They still, when they walk into the house, they don't take their shoes off. You're like, that's the first rule. When you come into my house, take your shoes off.
Right.
And then they got the feet up all on the couch. You gotta get a ninja like that out of your house, yo. What you doing here?
Y'all ever seen How High? Yeah. Red Man and Method Man?
Yeah, forever, yeah.
They remember he was in the office, eating Cheetos, he was stuffed. The principal was like, it made me think about that.
Hey, I got a precept right quick since I brought up discipline.
Huh.
This is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 1, the NIV. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid.
Yeah, and that goes back to fear. Okay? You want to have discipline, you got to have fear, man. That's wisdom. And these guys are leaking it. They're always leaking, man. Those vessels are leaking, man, badly.
Yeah.
Now you talk. Oh, go ahead.
No, you got it.
Hey, now they're talking about Gentiles can make it.
Yeah.
Like natural born what?
Yeah, they didn't take no time getting oil in their lamp. Now they drop their oil lamp trying to pick up some broken vesture. This one got oils dripping. It's all out.
It's got more than what I got though.
You got more than what I got. You got some drips right here.
I also said St. Luke was an Edomite.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of crazy shit.
It's like when you got such an abundance and you in one little fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
And look, the Lord, man, I don't need all of them anyway. That's how that's
all right.
It's the remnant of Israel is a lot, and this word is going out to four corners of the earth, but Jacob's abundance, there's too many of y'all.
Exactly.
Too many undesirables. I was at the grocery store today, and you had Jake, he was going through the fruit. All the old fruit he was getting rid of.
Dang.
He was putting it into a pile. He didn't throw it away. He was gathering it though.
Yeah.
To do whatever.
A lot of stuff go to farms.
Yeah.
Pigs and stuff like that.
Yep, gathering it and stuff. And so that's what the Lord doing. All the unclean fruit.
Yeah.
Kingdom of heaven is like going to a net that's thrown into a sea.
Yeah.
All the good fish got gathered in. All the bad fish got thrown back into the sea of wickedness.
Right.
You brothers got it.
And I got one more. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11, NIV. No discipline seems pleasant at the time,
right,
but painful.
Yeah, because really, we've had so much abuse happen to us. We're already beaten down. Now we gotta come and learn righteousness, and all these pleasures of the world is really to take the edge off. Now you gotta go through discipline and have, delayed gratification.
144, get on that white car.
You know? See, it's different when you train up in your youth to go through discipline, because even as you get older, you still have a strong body.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't really eating too many bad things like sweets, to destroy your digestive system, too many processed foods. But we're just learning this thing all over again from, 2007 on up. We're in the flesh. It's a hard fight, but you gotta love discipline, because you see, this is good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it.
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole harvest of righteousness. Good fruit to pick from. Then we're gonna be chilling. Look what our works have brought us.
That's right. In abundance. Lord willing.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
Shit, you know. You might see a little, fine ass little thing. I'm gonna spend, right now it's quality of time, but we gonna get our quantity of time.
That's right.
We gonna get them. Yahweh Shah said what? Daniel 7th chapter, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever. We're gonna show you how to rule this world in righteousness.
Right.
The heathen, you had your chance, but that chance is coming. It's over for you.
Yep.
Ain't no other heathen nations that we're not down with Babylon the Great is saying. No, they're working towards the same thing. An NWO, one world, everything. They're pushing cryptocurrencies very heavily in the media. Eric Trump. And it's funny when you watch their interviewers. When you watch someone on the news, they're reading a script. They didn't have that plan. They're not free flowing. No, they're reading the script. Look at their eyes. You can see the screen before their eyes. They're reading the script. You can see it. They look like a bunch of AI generated robots.
Yep.
But that's your enemy.
They get ready to lose their jobs too. These news anchors.
They ain't down with the program.
Yeah.
You don't never see those guys in public anyway. Who are they?
Yeah, it's rare.
Who are they? You got it, bro.
I see that one nigga, WRL, the big nigga. He got the fucked up haircut in the back.
Jake?
Yeah, Jake.
You see a Jake?
Huh?
You might see a Jake.
Yeah.
You might see a Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
It produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained.
This is something people do habitually. Preaching the word. A lot of distractions are coming. So many things are happening to our lives, but what keeps us grounded? Us coming back to the videos, coming back. Getting up on the weekend and preaching this blessed word, and being accountable for your actions when the camera is off.
That's the major thing right there. Because, you'll be exposed. We always say it's going to be exposed when you're at camp. Through your actions and, things like that. Things going to come out, man.
Yeah, the trial of man is in his reasoning. It's but the trial, the fact that you had the intention to do it,
right.
You're gonna fall short, right? But through your actions, how you spend your time is what you really are dedicating your life to. You got it, bro.
This is Philippians chapter 2 and verse 12. Not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Hey, look, that's right, man. Okay? How much more would the Lord not? And not being like these hypocrites, these actors, man. You know, those are the circumcision that know to do right and don't, man. So doing right is part of working out your own salvation with fear and trembling. That's what they're doing. Lord said, if you're not with me, you scatter. You're just scattering, man. So now we got to learn a whole new doctrine over again.
Right.
Now we got to go a whole new way.
I mean, we've seen this. We've seen this time and completely bugged out. You know, and we'll see. We'll weed out. You know, the weeding about is coming, but not neither specific. Neither, but not the Amos 9 and 11. Let's get that one.
The Lord is not the author of confusion. All of this trying to switch it up and coming up with new doctrines and this, that, and the third.
I got it.
Use this hand. You're not crippled over there, are you?
Yeah, I did that with that one hand. I'm messing with
Right? Yes, I got two.
I'm messing, bro. It says, in that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
Yeah, I think it's 9 and 9.
Oh, like below, I will command, I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
That's right. So we're, these false wayward doctrines is sifting it. That's why they come out.
New covenant demon.
New covenant demon. Now it's everybody love everybody demon. How can you love everybody?
Everybody.
Oh yeah, the flat earth took a lot of people out.
Yep.
Realistically, like you think about, you can't love guidelines. That's what the law is all about. A standard that you wouldn't trespass against.
Right.
You know, and we're here in these last days lifting up the standard that Yahweh Shai requires of you to be partakers of His kingdom.
Uh-huh.
You see?
Yep. I'll read it one more time.
All right.
And that 99, slot. For lo, I will command, I will sift the house of Israel amongst all nations.
Yeah, the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're God's chosen people. You know, the Lord is calling us to repent before the world would end.
Yep.
All nations. The scripture didn't say that all nations shall be saved, because that's the main thing that they trying to push right now with these other camps, that other nations could make it. But no, it said the nation of Israel.
Among the Gentiles.
The desirables.
Yeah, because we on the four corners of the earth amongst all people.
Yep.
So yeah, we go. It gotta get sifted.
I mean, it's simple. Codes for everybody. It wouldn't be a code. It wouldn't speak about a 10-headed dragon.
Well, that's the Lord told the disciples.
You know?
You know, why speakest thou unto them in parables? Because it's given unto you.
And who's the somebody got to be the heathen. The heathen for thine inheritance. Somebody got to be the inheritance. Somebody got to be the Gentiles.
There'll be no services. It's up to them.
Yeah.
That's why they want to be here, because they have robots doing everything. It says, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So all the elect's going to be saved, man. Not one elect's going to be left behind. Not one elect who wasn't meant to get this word is not going to get it. They're going to get it, man. And they're going to be sealed. Yeah.
I mean, we can always prove that the heathen aren't going to be saved. You know, you read Malachi the 4th chapter. No, sorry, Micah the 4th chapter. Isaiah the 2nd chapter. You know, Isaiah 2 and 1. Read on down. You know, it speaks about how they should come up and serve the God of Israel.
Right.
You know, but it speaks, and then they should learn of His ways. And then you have the book of Hebrews, the 8th chapter, it speaks about the new covenant that's going to make us perfect.
Brother got it on today. The brother got it on today. So wrong, bro.
I need to borrow some of that.
I'm telling you, man. Shoot.
Ooh, baby, smell good.
Yeah.
It's donut now.
Yeah.
What's that called?
It's called Wet My Bird.
Got your attention.
Yeah.
That brother's got it.
Yeah, go back. They ain't got nothing.
Right, Con. This is 2 Timothy 2 and 3. I'll start from the top.
Yep.
For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
2 Timothy 1 again?
4 and 2.
Yep. Okay, Con. This is 2 Timothy 4. I started 2. Verse 2. Preach the word, be in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke.
See, this is the reprover right here, man. This is supposed to reprove you with your thoughts, your mind, your spirit, everything, man. Because you got to remember, we've been corrupt from the time, you know, we was able to walk.
Oh, yeah, bro.
You know?
And you get a newborn in this society, you probably got all of 6 months before they're, you know, through. If that. You lucky if you get 6 months. But I mean, they don't leave the house, but they got, hey, you might have the TV on there in the room. You're like this. 2 months in. Man, you got...
Especially once they start going to school.
Oh, it's a wrap.
And once they start going to school and being around family members in the world, they get polluted.
It's a wrap.
We'll have a little, see, if it was our way, we'll have a little Mormon society away from everybody.
Hey, yo, my woman wanted to call the cops on me. I told her, my son, I was like, yeah, you know, we're the real Santa Claus. You know, Santa Claus ain't real. And she had a fucking meltdown, bro. I said, so you rather him hear the lie, or the truth, rather, from someone outside of his family? From his mother and his father? You know what I'm saying? Dumb bitch.
Yeah, because now, and you don't want your kid to, now the kid gonna be like, damn, my mother and father lied to me.
Exactly.
Lied to me all my life.
Yeah, I said the Mormons, I meant the Amish.
Amish, yeah.
They don't even,
Their own little communities.
yeah.
Oh,
They see the Mormons got their own little communities too.
Yeah, but I want to, you know, the more
Right.
Amish, that's more like, you know, the old world.
Yeah.
Even though they be doing all type of idolatry and
Yeah.
freakishness in those villages, but
Yeah, amongst Amalek, they don't get their kids phones or TVs or nothing.
oh yeah, you had the CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. He ended up having a small community amongst the citizens, amongst his neighbors, and they created like a school system for the kids.
See?
And they got fined for doing that.
Yeah.
Showing you that Big Brother, he don't want you teaching your kids anything. That's crazy, right? Indoctrination. Remember you used to go to school, I pledged allegiance to the flag, you know? So I stopped doing that, and like when I was in maybe like I think like 9th grade,
Yeah.
I stopped standing. I was like, man, you can't tell me what to do.
I played a couple of years of ball in college, and when we had to stand up, we had everybody. I was just standing. I was just like, and that was back then. I was like, man, fuck this place, man.
Hey, now that we know the truth, it was up to us. We'll get the hell out of America.
For real.
We only here as this is our duty.
Yep.
Man, take us and our family on out of here.
Facts.
Yeah, we don't hear it because we gotta be.
Yeah, every
Because if it was up to us, shit, like you just said, shit, we'll jump on a plane.
Jonas,
Exactly.
the Laura had the boat start shaking our asses. We'll be in South America, you know.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a day trip to, you know, to this island over here. Yeah, the boat start messing up.
I know, right?
I gotta get my ass back to America.
And it kind of swallow you up and swing your ass all the way over.
All right.
You got that.
All right, Con, this is I'm fucking funny, man.
Yep.
2 Timothy 4:2, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season.
Yep.
Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine.
Yeah, because Jake is looking for this, man. Our people are looking for the truth. All right. That's why we gotta always be on our watch. We gotta always be ready to teach this word, man. You gotta be wise with it too, because you first find out about this truth. You at work. You know what I'm saying? You this, you that. You teaching people, and you get rebuked for that shit, man. The Lord say, look, everybody, this ain't for everybody, man. You get pulled to the side. What the fuck are you doing? You get rebuked like fuck.
I mean, if it was for everybody, everybody would have known about it.
Exactly.
You would have known about it when you came into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you was taught Christianity growing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is something to renew you.
Right.
This is refreshing in a land of dry, in a land with no waters.
Right.
You're like, man,
Yep.
I've never had this water. Water. Find some good quality water. We won't tell you where we get ours.
Right.
But you gotta search. Just like this doctrine, it was given to us from the heavens. That's how precious it really is. We're out here to preach it, to proclaim it to the initiated. Right? You guys got it.
I got a quick precept for what you just said. Probably the shah. Give me 1 second. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Yep. So we came out of the heavens. So you can't be all captivated about the here and now, the pleasures of the flesh.
Right.
This ain't nothing. We've experienced the heavens. You know what I mean? We was up there. We were there.
Right.
Right? This is nothing.
Right.
Right? We really gonna experience a life in the world to come. This one right here is here today and gone tomorrow.
Right.
And the wicked is that like a shadow? We did a little thing in school where they had to outline our shadow. And then we came back a few hours later, saying the same exact spot was somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
They saw them like a dream that faded away.
Right.
You brothers got it.
One more time, Jeremiah 1 and 5 says, then, verse 4, then the word of the Lord came to me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And that cuts that fucking college bullshit. These what's some school?
Scholars.
These schools that Esau, divinity
Theologian
schools.
school.
Yeah.
So you had what they call the apostles, unlearned men.
Unlearned men, yeah.
They were unlearned men.
Yeah, how was shot?
Can any good thing come out of Nazareth?
Right.
So that was just that reputation.
Yep.
What do you know? Dribble the ball.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
LeBron.
LeBron. Yep.
Where the authority? And it's always been like that.
Yep. It says, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nation. So, man's going to the Lord. The Lord ordained us, so, Lord willing, we endure for the apostles and elders of great millstone on down, brothers affiliated. Look, we don't have a choice.
I mean, there ain't no other choice. The pictures is slim out here. Like, where are you gonna go?
Yeah. And that what Peter said? Is that not what Peter said?
That was the words of everlasting life.
Yeah.
Just like even if you had a bag,
right?
Even if you had the money, what you gonna do?
Hey, look at Delonte West. Look at Sebastian Telfair. Look at them guys. Yeah, they had the bag.
And honestly, to really be comfortable here, your money ain't long enough.
Exactly.
You gotta be in the multiple B's.
Yeah.
I need a massage every single day. You know what I mean? Fresh food, you know, land,
Yeah.
you know, time, all that stuff, resources, servants. We want to look like gods on earth.
Yeah.
You can't do that with a couple $100 million.
Especially time.
Mm-hmm. And look, you can't do that being an Israelite.
Not in
You got
America.
the curses, bro. No matter what the fuck you do. Look at Bill Cosby. Look at Diddy.
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
Jake is doing everything on such a low level. You know, artist that lives in your city, he might be known worldwide. This nigga eating at the same restaurant you eating at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's wild. I saw this celebrity coming here.
Yeah.
He has all that money, but he's eating there?
Yeah.
Like a peasant?
Was it Jim Jones or Cameron? One of them was like, they was on tour. They was in the McDonald's, and like locals came in and like robbed the niggas. Why you? Huh? Cam.
Talking about his hat, right? The color of his hat.
No, it was like some jewelry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I heard. Yeah, no, Cameron, the rapper.
Okay.
Yeah, Killer Cam. Yeah, you know, I was like, damn, yo, like you eating with them? Why you ain't got, you know, at least somebody bringing you the food,
Right.
or you so, you know.
You know, they just big kids playing dress up. You know what I mean? They just was giving some money.
Yeah.
Niggas don't know how to act. That's why you're Jake. If I came into money now, I'll be doing this, that, and third. You're like, so you will be a bigger ninja.
That's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that money shows you what a person really is.
Yeah, you can't just give anybody authority and rank.
Right.
You know, money, riches. You can't, you know?
Take no book so fast, man.
Exactly.
Because this kingdom would never cut it for us. You know? What we want, this kingdom can't offer it.
Hey, and like that video you shared, can you handle what's given it to you? Can you handle a certain type of blessing? Can you handle a certain type of money? I think that was you.
Yeah. Can you? Because this truth. Read something back, and then
Yeah.
we'll circle back around.
There's Proverbs 23:4 points in 5. Labor not to be rich, cease from thy own wisdom. Wilt thou set thy eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as the eagle towards the heaven.
Yeah, because a wise man realizes he doesn't have to labor to be rich. He does not seek after an abundance of riches to make him feel good. He uses the little riches that he has to as a tool. You know, money's supposed to serve you. You ain't supposed to serve money. You know, money's supposed to be used at your dispense to say, all right, well, I got this. Let me use it for that, because this is gonna formulate into me allowing, a healthier body.
Right.
You know, clear mind. You see, not so I can just have things or in quick stimulations.
Can I bring a piece of what you just said? It's Sirach, Ecclesiastes 11:21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord, and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich.
It's nothing. You know? That's why King Solomon is so renowned for what he asked, you know, the Lord. He asked for wisdom. You know, this discretion, discernment.
Yep.
To make the right choices in the end. You know, a man will be rewarded. You know? That's why he said this life was vanity. In fact, you work for all this your whole life, and another person's gonna come enjoy
Exactly.
the fruits of my labor.
Exactly.
It's all vanity because we're not immortal beings right now. We're so low level to what we really are.
Right.
We're in these chains of darkness. This is nothing. You know? That's why you gotta tap into the power that's inside of you. You know? You gotta. We're heavenly creatures. Here on earth, that's it. You know, we use that. You know, we're gods.
That's it.
The sons of God.
That's it.
You gotta. That comes with a mindset and a behavior pattern that you follow. You can't be out here walking around like a beast, living your life after the pleasures of this world. I be looking at these people. These people are low. They're animals.
Yeah, lawless brute beasts.
What you said one day? Everybody's just ugly. I was like, everybody's just ugly.
Bro, like, and honestly, everyone is ugly. To be honest. You find a girl that do a skincare routine, you know, really keep up with herself, yeah, stay with that, babe. Keep doing it. You are needed in this kingdom.
Yeah, you see a fine ass woman, then you know her ways is fucking ugly, disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Turn you off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and they get old quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They get old real quick.
Yeah.
You gotta get a woman. You gotta ask yourself, why my woman don't moisturize after she get out the shower? You know what I mean? You gotta ask yourself, why is she not in the shower for too long? She should be in there for like an hour right now. Just leave me the hell alone. Let it stay up in there.
Women don't know how to bathe no more, man. They get the shower head off and they put that thing up.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
Hey, you know, you know.
Like when the last time they soaked.
Exactly.
That's how Jake like them. Even our men don't got no standards. You know?
One chick in college,
We
man.
gotta train them women.
One of my exes in college, you know, it was cool after we broke up. You know what I'm saying? And I forgot how it came up. But I said, so, you know, a nigga about to come over. I know you wash your ass first. She said, nah, let's go to the sink. I said, God damn, yo. She said, we all do it. I was like, damn, these bitches dirty as fuck. This motherfucker fine too, boy.
Man, be honest with you, the worst ones, man.
Yeah.
Those sorority houses, man.
Yeah.
They be having like all types of shit on the floor, yo. You
Yeah.
know somebody coming over.
Yep.
Oh. Y'all learn y'all damn house.
The line of business I'm in now, I said, yo.
Yeah.
I
Same
said,
same
yo,
shit.
bro.
Yeah.
I found dilly does, roses.
I remember taking spray one behind the bed.
Ugh.
Ain't tell the homeowner because they found out like
That was a doctor visit. You know, spraying shit. Yam and yam.
damn.
Judgment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it one more time. It's Ecclesiastes 11:21. Marvel not the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord. And that's the problem our people have. They don't want to trust in the Lord. They want to trust in what they can see.
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy. You know, that's why people get wild at celebrities. Because they think, you know, the I Show Speed character, the streamer, you know, this dude got a lot of money.
Who?
I Show Speed.
Jake.
Right.
Yeah,
do all the
I
crazy
just
shit.
don't understand what makes him famous.
I mean, you ask his fans, he's funny, he's fast. You know, he's
He's barking like a dog.
Yeah.
He's standing right here and just bust off doing backflips.
he's built a following.
Okay.
You know, and he's probably one of the better streamers. I mean, he keeps the people entertained.
Yeah.
He does a good job of doing it. You know, but Harley is setting great dignity here. That's why he has such a following here. But people think like, you know, this guy can. If I meet him, he'll change my life. You know, just like you have a Spider-Man 2. You know, you have your hero let you down. They turn into a villain. You know, that's what people are really happening. A lot of these false heroes is turning people into wicked villains out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they ain't shining true light. Their light is really wickedness, and that's why the gremlins follow them. You know, don't get their ass wet. Don't, you know, the holy water come out, turn the monsters. That brother got it.
Yep, finishing out Sirach 11:21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor, for it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord to make a poor man rich.
Yep. The poor man, because really we're rich.
Yep.
You know, we got more than everybody out here. I'm not gonna say some people, everybody.
I'm gonna back that up.
You know, we got a lot up here.
I got it.
You know, bro's got charisma.
Yep.
You know, wisdom, understanding. You got it, bro.
Yeah. Start at 5 verse 3 and points in 15. Start at 13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver.
And that word happy goes into blessed.
Yep.
You know, you're blessed. You're highly
Favored.
You know, blessed and highly favored. But where though? In the heavens.
Right.
Where it really matters.
Exactly.
You know, I was, man, you know, you hear about these great speakers and, you know, how they'll, you know, somebody want to be a student under them and, you know, hey, I'll pay all this money to come and live with you. And then you realize you're just like me. Yeah, we're all just men here at the end of the day, but what excels a man above another is his favor in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Rashai. No man is like a man of the Lord.
Right.
We're of a different class, you know? And you have to have the Lord inside of you to tap into that that type of power.
Right.
It gotta be in you.
It says, and the gain thereof than fine gold, Proverbs 3 and 14, verse 15. She is more precious than rubies, and all things that thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her.
You know, like, brothers like stones, right? Man, every stone is a cut different.
Yep.
You know? And are they everywhere? No, they're scarce.
That's right.
You know, they're scarce. So every brother, we might be different, certain, like different things, but we've all come together. We're all cut out of the same cloth. Together, you know, in the building of Yahweh Shema Rashai's kingdom.
Right.
Right? And if you don't fit, if you're not of this material, you can't get in this priestly garment that is being knit together. You gotta be tossed aside.
Right. That was it.
I got a quick one. This is Matthew 6 and 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other.
And look, and we're living in times where you're starting to see who's serving who. You know? You got niggas out here serving Wells Fargo. You know? Instead of serving Yahweh Shema Rashai. The closer we get to that day, the closer, you know, things gonna be revealed who's who.
It's like, what do you expect to do when there's no more grocery store? If you can't trust the Lord to pay, what are you gonna say?
But these guys don't believe that.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted to throw that, you know, they don't believe that. They think it's going to always, you know, these niggas really still believe in the system.
Well, just how everything rebounded, but damn, if it happened again, it's going to do the same thing.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they had this movie called The Green Hornet with Seth Rogen or something like that. Yo, this movie, rich and everything, right? You know, his dad, so he was basically a trust fund baby. His dad, family was taking care of him every day. He woke up to a nice like a latte, coffee latte, you know, with the swirls in it and everything, had the leaf. And one day his dad died. He fired everybody. He's like, "Where's my latte?"
Yep.
You know, he's like, "Why doesn't it come out like how it's been coming out?"
Dummy.
You know. So what are you gonna do when, you know,
exactly.
everybody is done? You know, this kingdom is done. Yep. You don't know how to make the latte. You've been spoon fed.
Yep.
You know, they got the pacifier in your mouth while they stealing your cookies out your hand. You know, you brothers got it.
Okay, finishing up. It says, this is Matthew 6 and 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. He cannot serve Yahweh by Shemi Hawashai and Mammon.
Yep.
Trying to serve the spirit of this world that tell you money is going to make you happy. I had somebody tell me I make good money for my age. I was like, honestly, like, I don't care how much money I make, as long as my bills are paid. You know what I mean? As long as, you know, we can eat some fruit.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta be able to afford your favorite fruit. You gotta be able to afford your favorite meat. You know, you cut out all the BS. You know, buy the necessities that's actually gonna fuel your body.
Yep.
You know, you gotta be able to have some time off to take a walk outside. Help in this fight of ours. You know, of course, the word.
Right.
You know, getting this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You see, when you simplify things in your life, you realize how much time you really got. I don't gotta rush to do everything. I got a lot of time because I ain't doom scrolling on Instagram no more. I'm not spending 4 hours playing video games. Like, dang,
Yep.
it was a busy day. That's his world. They don't work. They don't move with a purpose out here. People are just doing things. Like a dog, do you think a dog wakes up and plans his day? Come on, man. You can't be like animals out here. Praise God.
Like you said, not moving with a purpose.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people there, they don't have a purpose in life.
Okay. I want to get that Proverbs too. Guess what? That's not what's in the forecast. That ain't in the forecast. What's in the forecast? Evils, destruction. And we're going to constantly stay out on our watch and warn our people and tell our people. So the Lord said that's enough. You know? Yep.
2 Timothy 4:4, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth.
Yeah. Because the truth was too harsh. The reality of Yahweh Shah is too harsh for our people, man. So they're going to turn away their ear from it. All right? Even though it's lining up with what's going on in the earth today, the prophecies that is spoken about in the scriptures are happening right before their very eyes, they still refuse it, man. Okay? And what's that? Was that Isaiah that said, "How long, O Lord?" Isaiah 6.
Oh, yeah, Isaiah 6:11.
Yeah. Until the cities, be destroyed.
Yeah. And men, in the cities will be. Let's get it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Isaiah 6:11. How long, O Lord, till the cities be wasted, right?
Yep.
Without inhabitants. And basically, no men left.
Yep.
That's Amos 5:18. The day of the Lord will be darkness and not light.
That's right. I'm gonna start at 9. Indeed, but perceive not.
Yeah, because there's two masters right now. You can serve the master of the universe, or you can serve the master of the flesh. That's perfected wickedness.
Yeah.
That's Esau Edom, the
Right.
God of this world who blind the minds of those that believe not.
Verse 10. Make the heart of this people fat and make their ears heavy.
And make their ears and heart fat, ears heavy. Womp womp womp.
Yep.
Womp womp womp.
Yep. Charlie Brown.
You ever tell something that's something like somebody tell you this, right? I'm going through something. I tell you I'm going through something. You tell me how to fix that problem, and then I tell you how I would fix the problem.
So why the fuck you asking?
You know what I mean? Why are you sharing that you're going through something?
Right.
You should say I'm fixing something.
Yeah.
If you had the answer the whole time,
People, man.
that's his world though.
Right. It says in Isaiah 6:10, make the hearts people fat and make their ears heavy and shut their eyes.
Everything that you've been doing, the Lord sees, not the thing that just the public eye sees. Because
Right.
we can see it now. We can see the wickedness of people. That's why we don't even converse with them.
Right.
We can read spirits up here. We ain't just hanging out with anybody. Man's wisdom making his face to shine. Those the eyes to see. Like, oh yeah, I gotta follow that. You can see when someone has some type of light in them. And some jakes do. They got a little zeal, but it's not according to knowledge. It's not according to the Holy Spirit of discipline, right? Because the Holy Spirit of discipline is going to flee the sea, right? And will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. You see? because they weren't washed by the true water. See, the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai is sprinkled in everything, a little bit. There was all those little baits and traps to get you out of that path of evil and bring you to, Yahweh Shai. You brothers got it.
Yep, reading on. Isaiah 6:10, it says, and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. Verse 11, the point. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate.
Houses without men. Meaning all this BS that you see on the day-to-day, people up here buying and selling, chilling, traveling up the road, that's going to be finished.
Yep.
This society is like, one day it's going to be like, none of this was here. None of this was going on.
Right.
What's happening in Babylon, no one's going to care. This is just a moment in time. This is a drop in the bucket compared to immortality that's coming for the nation of Israel. Do you think you're going to be worried about bruising your knee in the kingdom? Remember that one time you bruised your knee, bro? And everybody got that story. I broke a bone. That's going to be nowhere found in our memory. We're going to live as kings and gods on the earth forever.
Which is constant pleasure.
Constant pleasure. It's just true.
We have to suffer for a season. Jake don't understand this is just a season. Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Right now, people stimulate themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So when you stimulate yourself, you forget about those pleasures. I mean, you forget about the stress your body's in, the worries of the world. But imagine that blissfulness that you get on this side, but forever. And then when it's and then after you get done at the party, you're gonna come home with no BS. It's still good. It was never a mess.
Yeah. I'll never forget one of my best friends in the world, Nigerian cat. He was like, man, I bet heaven's like busting a nut every day. But, in a sense, it's like, it's going to feel good. I don't know about busting a nut good, but, Jake, man. Yeah, exactly.
It'll be better than that,
No sicknesses. No broken by busting, no
Peace.
Peace.
It's going to be that build-up.
That's right.
No worries, no wants. Just peace.
Like, damn, what's going to happen today?
I gotta go to work.
See, like in the kingdom of heaven, that's gonna we just do things, but it's gonna be right.
Yeah.
But it's all gonna be in righteousness.
Right.
Everything in righteousness. You can't just wake up and just do things. That standard of doing things right is just gonna be in you.
Right.
Today we might go here. I might spend half the day with this wife.
Yeah.
Then we gonna go fly to the brother's crib, and I'm gonna go see the wife eat. That I got a gift over there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Got some concubines.
Yeah, bro. Women want to enjoy the earth alone too.
Yep.
We want to enjoy the earth alone.
Yep.
I mean, come on, bro. Let's keep reading.
Right here, I got a precept to what you had said.
Bring it up, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 15. For this people's heart is waxed gross.
Whose people? 2/3 of our people, man. Right? The undesirables. Their heart is waxed gross because that's what the Lord prescribed for them, man. But then you got other groups, want to raise up the nation. We're raising up the nation. All the nations ain't meant to get this, bro.
And their ears are dull of hearing. And their eyes they have closed.
Because you got angels blocking them, man. You got the angels marking those with the Tawah to be exempt from judgments, which is getting this truth, going back to Ezekiel. Then you got angels that's like, yo, you're not going to get this. You're a vessel fitted for destruction. You got it.
Lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears.
Go ahead.
And should understand with their heart. And should be converted, and I should heal them.
Yeah, Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai cold. He don't even want to heal 2/3 of his people. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, I remember what he did. Yeah, nah, he ain't, no. They wasn't written in the book, you know?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna forgive you, but I'm not forgiving you.
Right. Yep. Look, I forgive you. Nope, nope. I forgive you. Nope, nope. You know?
I mean, everybody don't go to the party.
Exactly.
You go all, you know everybody.
Yeah.
You know, you got back in school, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody didn't come to the party.
Right.
And you know that exclusive group. You know, what I mean, don't tell them. You know, don't even tell them.
Yeah, quick story. Like back, you know.
They act, say you don't know.
Right.
Hey, and then when they get there, you be like, "What you doing here?"
Who invited you? You know. You know, you make the basketball team, whatever, in high school. That was like a thing. You know. And I remember it was one cat. He didn't make the team. He was doing his red, and then fell down and started crying. Facts. And he cried so much that the coach put him on the team. Yeah, sympathy. And,
those are alligator tears. He did that.
Nah,
before.
he was balling for real. He probably did practice it, but he was balling for real. And I say that because you can't do that with your How About You Shot.
And that's why the ship say there should be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You know?
Exactly.
I got precept on mine.
Real fast. This dude got in the game, and he shot the ball, and it went over the backboard. And my dad was like, who's this guy? And he tried to be on the team. He was like,
He ain't have no skills at all.
Hey, look,
he was tall.
When he shot, did he like make a face like a shame, or he just like, on to the next play?
This is what he did. And then went back on defense.
Yo, he was an actor, bro. I told you, bro. Those tears are fake,
He was
bro.
like, damn. And then jumped back. And I was
fake,
like,
bro. You practice that, bro. That dude's a professional actor. He's acting his way through life. Some people don't know how to act. They just pretend. Oh, this is just how people think I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm gonna do.
You come to find out, he turned up being a real feminine dude, man.
I bet.
You know, went and got that Duke for men in his hair and shit.
He wanted to be a part of the basketball team so he can be in the locker room. Mm-hmm. You know? I gotta get on this. That's why he was crying.
I ain't think about that shit.
Not because he was crying because he wasn't gonna be able to be in the locker room.
Man.
This is St. Matthew 22 and 11. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw their man which had not on a wedding garment. And he said unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless.
Yeah. You know, 2/3 of our people are gonna be speechless during this time, man. Because with the grace period that's been put before them, they didn't prepare themselves for this all-white event. You know?
Yeah. You really gotta prepare yourself to go out. You know, if you think about wedding, you gotta prepare yourself for that. You gotta come in well groomed, just as much. For at least for that day. Gotta make sure you're well groomed. Clean. Can't be all smelly.
Yeah, weddings are planned out like years. You know what I'm saying?
So a few months in the play.
You gotta get the right food, catering.
Parties, all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, money to jump.
So the king is. Time you just had a day to get ready. All you had to do was show up. That's all we had to do. Just show up and do the work.
But Jake, I may say, Jake wants to show up smelling like herb, drunk, through these philosophies, I'm saying, and still be accepted. No, it doesn't work that way.
It's like this is gonna pull up to the party, the DJ playing the music, but he got a speaker playing his music on the dance floor. And it's like, yo, get this dude out of here.
Right.
Like if I'm driving the car, you ain't about to start playing your music about mine in the car.
Right.
You might, I'm about to pull over. And that's why the scripture say, blessed is he that keepeth his garments.
Right.
know, you gotta watch as well as pray to keep these garments on. Because this world would tell you, what do you see every day on Instagram? Oh, do this business.
Right.
Start this today.
Yep.
You know? Oh, you can do it too. You can get rich. You see how happy I am? I'm happy when the camera's on.
Right.
Everybody's fake happy out here. People are living miserable lives when those cameras turn off. Body aches, stomach through,
Need money.
hormone imbalance,
Gut tore up.
gut tore up, need money.
Oh man.
Finished out here.
I got something real quick since you said that.
Bring it out.
Is wisdom of Solomon, straight to the point, 3 and 11. For whoso despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain. Their labors are unfruitful, and their works unprofitable.
And that's why you see a lot of bug outs. There's a lot of people are realizing everything that they've been laboring in society,
Failed.
it has failed them. America is finished out here. Everything, the stock market is propped up.
144.
The stock market is propped up. The housing market is propped up. America is broke.
Yep.
This place is completely finished out here. Remember Donald Trump in The Simpsons when he became president? Next president came in. When Lisa Simpson came in, the country's broke. Those guys.
Right.
As soon as we pass those guys, we're gonna turn that on. Where are they going?
Exactly.
They should be at the firehouse already. That's a car to take you to the firehouse. Let's go get lunch, guys. Let's go get lunch. We don't do anything all day.
Right.
Oh, we got an emergency. These niggas at lunch, right? They supposed to be your emergency.
I seen them big ass fire trucks at the supermarket.
Yeah, I see them too.
Yeah.
They'll be like 7 deep.
Yeah.
Let's go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
But our tax dollars is, make sure they
Right.
good. It's a crazy world we live in. That just got it, bro. That confusion, that's Babylon for you. How's bringing down these niggas that, eating steak?
Where's it at?
Let's go mess with the Israelites on their way home.
Right.
No, they be out there on Saturday. As soon as we pass by, we're going to turn on the sirens. Act like we're going, do you hear it anymore?
Right.
Do you hear it
You don't
anymore?
hear it. You should hear it.
Damn. Assholes. Let's go, though.
Yeah, Prophet. Matter of
I
fact,
have a little bit more Matthew I want to read.
That's right. That's right.
All right, God, what, sir? This is St. Matthew chapter 12. I'm going to start verse 22 and 12. And he said unto him, Friend, how camest in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless.
if I may say, which represents this word.
Yep.
What's that? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Revelations 16 and 15.
That's where I was going.
Yeah, I think it's 16 and 15, maybe 12, somewhere around there. Maybe 30.
Yep, this is Revelation 16 and 15. Behold, I come as a thief.
Hey, imagine a pack of those.
Yeah,
They're probably hybrids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably are.
Yep.
We're gonna have a pack of them things bringing us.
So what?
We're gonna have a pack of them things working for us.
Right. Yep.
Bringing us back chicken to cook. They gonna be bringing us chicken to cook.
Yeah, they gonna be the people that got food. They gonna fucking. They gonna run off. They gonna scurry off. They gonna bring the spoils back to us.
You shoot one of them dogs, they just gonna keep trucking.
Right.
A little bit of spirit on them. They walking him. Look, we just gonna go with this guy because he feed us from now.
Right.
Wait till they can't feed him no more.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. They gonna become the prey.
We gonna eat him.
You ever see the Wayne brothers? In White Chicks. Remember he got punked by the little dog.
Yeah.
It was a little dog because he had went in the woman's house. He had went into the Jake's house. The Tyrese dude. The big buff dude.
Oh, he's about the dude play Damon. What's his name?
Oh yeah, Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. He went inside Terry Crews' house Terry Crews had a little pump dog, a little Pomeranian. But hey, the Pomeranian was turning up on the Wayne brother. He was scared as hell. Now imagine if Terry Crews had a real dog,
Exactly.
and then the Mr. Wayne dude up in there. He got eaten alive.
Tore his ass up.
You know, that's why they,
Look at that dog.
you know,
Looking like a nigga one.
them big dogs gonna be coming out of the woodworks.
John.
You got Bruce.
Yeah, this is Revelation 16 and 15. Behold, I come as a thief. It's written in red.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Yep, and when you walk naked, you're not really examining yourself. How you walk outside naked? You know what I mean?
Right, Adam.
You know, exactly. You're naked because you're in sin.
Right.
Right? You know, when if you're someone who looks in the mirror constantly, you constantly, I don't, you know, my teeth, they're not yellow, you know, my breath, you know, I got the, you know, bugs out of my eyes. You know, they doesn't really take a minute and examine themselves before they just go out and do things. Go out into the world.
It's loud because it's a rat race. You know, we're on a time punch here.
Yeah, even with what you eat. You know, you should have like a food journal and track what you're eating. You know, if you track what you eat, then you can be like, okay, this is why I felt bad at this time.
Right.
When I eat this.
Right.
You know? How you doing?
Yes, Relitas. See?
See, this is why we can't, you know, being the man. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Our kids, I would love to have some kids running around. Look, I have a small village.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have a field. Go get the chickens. Go get the eggs.
It's a gift and a curse on this side. That's all I'm saying.
I know, right? We gotta get them though.
Kids get older, they don't give a damn about you. Man, that shit crazy. Yeah.
I know, right? That's why we don't need one. That's what I'm saying. Like,
We take care of our responsibilities, but no one's, you know, we're not super dad. You know what I'm saying?
you can't be in this society.
Yeah.
I don't got no spiritual power
Exactly.
on the level yet. All we got is spiritual power right down these words.
Yep.
This is all we got. Money have we none?
Exactly.
You know? Don't you need money to be a super dad in this kingdom?
Damn.
You got it, bro.
But yeah, you know, it's. Yeah, you're right. Finish it out. Revelation 16:15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth keeping his garments, which is the representation of knowledge, right? The understanding, the fear of the Lord. It says, "Least ye walk naked, and they see his shame." All right.
Yeah, that we're at least to avoid the risk of you being exposed out here. You're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And your enemy can see that vulnerability. See, Esau, Edom, he's like that witch pie.
Yep.
As soon as they eat this, they eat it up.
All right.
As soon as they eat this, we're going to throw a party after this, and that some enchantments have now started kicking in.
Uh-huh.
You know? Now you're under my frequency, you're under my vibration.
Right.
You know? And I'm not going to let you go. You know? That serpent, you know, wrap around you before he, you know? The squeeze is on before he goes for that killing blow.
The juggler.
The jugular. You know?
Damn. That was it.
And Esau, Edom, that's why the scripture said his nakedness would be uncovered. You know? Because his wickedness and his transgressions is gonna be uncovered to what all the evil and wickedness that he's done on the earth. And it's being uncovered now.
Yeah, I saw something where you know, Jake was being fed it was alligator bait. So I looked it up, like the fact check it, and you know, Google and was saying, oh, it was just, you know, it wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? Because his word went out too much. You know, it's been a stain on his legacy. This is how you treated, you know, people. You haven't changed. You probably looked as a beacon of light, but when you're really truly fucking wicked, and now it's coming out. Now you're trying to backtrack and get rid of your you know, the crime scene evidence. You know?
Yeah, they was probably feeding our dead bodies to alligators.
Everything, man.
It's a book out that I seen a woman, she been making clips on, and they said Edom was openly committing cannibalism on Israelites.
See?
Until like I think it said the 70s or something.
Yeah.
The Northern Kingdom, yeah.
Right. Which one? Which one? Which one?
Yeah, they was openly committing it was openly committing cannibalism against the Israelites.
Like, and like I said, to this day, you still got artifacts where they were making clothes out of Jake's skin. So
Yeah.
they can't hide that.
Yeah, they can hide that.
Right. Because it's a time for him to be revealed. You know what I'm saying? Just like it was a time for us to go into captivity, a time for us to be exposed. You know? Good, yeah. We're living in that time, man. It was nothing we could do about it. It's nothing Esau Edom could do about it, man. No matter who you pay off, right? No matter what you got up under your sleeve, there's nothing that you can do. You're being exposed and you're going down. All right?
Yeah, let me finish this out.
Yeah.
St. Matthew 22:13. Then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Yeah, yeah. Think about when you tie up a hog. You know what I'm saying? Hog tie.
You're crying.
Yeah.
and you know that's what it is. This word gonna be taken out of the highways and hedges of light that's shining so brightly that irritating everybody to wake up. Well, we gonna hit a time of darkness one more time before the Lord come back.
Right. Right.
Working during the day, you know, now night coming, we about to go hide out and wait for the salvation, just like during the time of Egypt. Put the blood post on our door during the nighttime.
Yep.
We stayed our ass in the house. You know, and everybody else is out here in darkness. You heard the cry, the deletion of the firstborn.
Right. Yo, they're searching for the people to be sleeping over there.
I'm out of here.
What do you expect Jake to do though? You know what I'm saying?
You don't got money. You don't got no value. You're not working.
Damn.
You're useless either. Get them out of here.
Yeah.
You know, but that's this society. That's this kingdom. So with that, we're gonna let the next brother come up. I am anyway.
Yeah. I'm sliding. Oh, no, that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Get to prophecy, wisdom, full spectrum of wisdom. We can go into self-help, we can go into all bunch of stuff, man. The Lord got prophets out here to tell you more what's to come. Concerning the word of Yahweh Shai, that's what's speaking. We got false religions, false teachers, government doing all type of BS and lying to you, push you mass media, BS, and then we got the prophets of the Lord out here telling the truth, man. The poor man's words. The son can have to do too, so from the time.
Okay, Con, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. In verse 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me.
So who is Habakkuk talking about? Talking about the Yahweh Bashim Shai, man, the Heavenly Father intervening, him on that watchtower and giving him what to say, man. Because a watchman is supposed to what? To give heed and warn the people of impending danger, man. And that's what we're doing here, man. On the high tower, on the vantage point, because again, you're up high in the city, so you can see far out, man. You're not underground. There's no watchtower underground. I mean, at least not in the ancient world. Now you got all type of technology to do. I'm talking about the ancient world. You had a watchman on the high tower, so they could see out on the horizon for evil, man. And when he seen that evil, what he do? He blew the trumpet. He said, "Damn, I don't feel like it. But that's my cousin." No, man, you had to blow that trumpet because you had to warn the people that were within those walls, man. And that's what we're doing, here in these times, man. Same as the prophets of old, man. Keep reading.
And what I shall answer when I am reproved.
Right, so this is the counsel of Yahweh Bashim Shai, man. We're going to say in Peter's, we have a more sure word of prophecy. The word has no private interpretation, right? The Lord, again, as far as the order goes, he reveals the secret unto his servants and prophets, man. So the prophets have the answers, man. And as in the ancient world, going back to ancient customs, the people, of Jerusalem, they knew that they wanted to acquire the Lord, they'll go to who? The seers, okay, the prophets, okay? Before time they were called seers. To what? To get an answer from the Lord, And here it is in 2025. Now you got ChatGPT, you got Google, you got these technocrats. You don't need an answer from the Lord no more, You got science so-called. You got your degree. You got your doctorate, You got your master's. You got your bank account, You don't need answer from God no more. And as you tap into worshiping after and wandering after the beast, man, in his image. And that's when the Lord's pissed off, all right? We'll keep reading.
Habakkuk 2:2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables.
And what is vision? Going to a prophecy, something that's seen in the far future or near future for you, man. Here in these times, these things are seen afar off, right, by the prophets of old and written down, all right, because the Lord's word is what? Faithful and true, man. This is his testimony. It's the spirit of prophecy. Keep reading.
That he may run that readeth it.
Yeah, so it's plain, meaning it's easily understood, right? It's easy to be understood that everything that is spoken of in the scriptures are unfolding right before your eyes, man. There's no confusion about that. You ask the everyday person, you say, are we going to end days? They'll agree with you, man. They won't go further than that because they start getting spooked out, because they know they ain't right, and ultimately they're on the bad side of judgment. But concerning end times, grandma knows end times. Auntie know. Everybody know, man. You walk past certain people, you have walk down the park, you at the job at the lunch table, you hear Jake talking about some shit, but they ain't doing nothing about it, man. As I said in Ezekiel, they'll hear the word, but they don't do it. You know it's the end time. What are you doing? You're not running, because you're not reading, man. Mostly the Lord's not there with you, man. You read it?
Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time.
Yep. So that's what Jake misses the mark at. It's for an appointed time, not on your time. When you feel like it, I think it's this time. Lord will come back today. If you don't come back today, I'm mad. All you out there, standing outside waiting for that rapture, you mad at what? At man's time. That's not the Lord's timing. An appointment means an official time for business. And only the Heavenly Father knows that official time for business. You read in the Apocrypha in Ezra, it says it's not going to stir, until that set measure be fulfilled, man. So that time is with the Father, man. And that's what we're catching up and we're watching for his time, man. You ever heard of God's time, Father time? That's the Lord, man. He's the Ancient of Days. So again, concerning these prophecies, it's for an appointed time, okay? But Jake comes slackness, so he ain't coming. Jake looking around, it's the same as usual, not being spiritual, being carnal. And they keep doing the bullshit they're doing, man. And then all they're doing is adding fuel to that fire, man.
Need the patience. After you have suffered a little bit, you might receive the promise. You have need the patience.
And that's more so for us because we have the insight. Because, when you're watching for something, think about the last hour of class. That shit feels like an eternity.
Right.
Or you in line, you next in line. You wait all.
Or last hour of work.
Yeah, straight up. Exactly.
That should be
Because you're watching, man. It's because you're suffering. Time is slow when you're catching hell. When you're watching and wait for something, when you're suffering, time's slow, man. When you're bullshitting, you're in la la land, time goes by fast because, having a good time flies, you're having a good time. Time flies when you're in ignorance, man. Keep reading, finish it.
But at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Right, and that's what we are now, man. The end is speaking. The vision is speaking. The words of Yahweh are speaking, man. It's not our words. You giving us too much credit. We didn't figure this shit out, man. We are not that special, man. We was eating Cheetos and having eating Captain Crunch like you was, man. But the Lord found it fit for us to be woken up to go out and preach the gospel, man. To warn our people. The point is the end is speaking.
I got a precept. I was half into what you were saying. It's Sirach 11:25. In the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction.
Yep.
It says, in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity.
Yep. And that's why the Lord has us in this affliction to think. It's a punishment.
Yep.
That's what happens when you get served in time. You got time to think now, man. All that shit you was doing in the world, selling drugs, being, a scammer, robbing, stealing, killing, now you got to serve the time, man. And that's this captivity. So us in affliction, you're supposed to think that's in Ecclesiastes, man. But Jake want to skip all that to the good times, man. They don't want to acknowledge their moments and sin. they catch hell, you know, and they wonder why, because you're doing the wrong shit, man. You're being simple, you know. Tell them I can't catch a break. All you do is eat shrimp, ham, and lobster, man. That's Jake, man.
You got Jake, they be catching hell at work. They be a little out of shape out of work, and then they indulge in eating even more worse. As some type of pleasure, but you gotta go to the root problem.
Exactly.
You gotta fix the root, and that's what Yahweh Shai is here to do.
Yep. And that goes into prophecy as well. Strong delusion. Here it is, you out of shape and way overweight, man. But you still keep doing the same behavior that got you in a position. You'll cry for the condition you're in, but you're not changing. That's the wickedness of our people, man. That's Jake logic, man. Maybe this time I'll hit. You know what I'm saying? Doing the same bullshit. Right.
Verse 27, the affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and the end of his deeds shall be discovered.
When you in that position, when you catch a straight hell, you're not thinking about the girl you was laying with two hours ago, man. You're getting hemmed up by the police, getting pulled over by the cops. You ain't thinking about the party you was just having, man. You're thinking about, damn, I might go to jail, man. That's how the mind goes, man. People say, I can multitask. You can't multitask. You just switch from one thing to the other, man. And again, going to affliction. That's why we have, the condition that we're in now is because we moved more to life, man. So again, us coming back into the awakening, that's prophecy as well, man. It's all prophecy, man. Esau being exposed. Okay, the nations gathering up for war. What's going on in the office with Mr. DJ Trump might get, kicked out. You got the MAGA people and Republicans, they're done with this guy, man. You got the files coming out, right after this lockdown finish, Because why? Because, ultimately it's all controlled opposition.
Didn't the guy, what's her name? Maxine? Is it Maxine or
Gazelle, Maxine, Giselle, something like that?
Yeah, the Epstein lady. Yeah. Her email list and information just came out. They claim, but the Epstein list still ain't come out.
Well, that's the infightings amongst the nation, amongst the Edomites. That's them fighting each other behind the scenes. Trying to use leverage. Yeah. They did the wickedness. Everybody did. Everybody in the they all got dirt on them.
Yeah, they all got dirt.
It's just about when it come out or not. Both sides making Esau bear. That's part of prophecy as well. Their own tongue shall fall upon themselves.
This is Isaiah chapter 46, verse 8. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O you transgressors.
Yeah, what are you being brought to mind? What is being brought to mind, man? Again, the ways of Yahweh Shai, man, being put in remembrance. Though you once knew this, man, stirring up your mind. Okay? Or you transgressors, because why? We fell away, man. Which is in the prophecies. Thou should discontinue from thy heritage. The Lord talking to Jeremiah, but he's talking about the whole nation. He said, even thou. Jeremiah was a righteous man. He was a prophet unto the nation. The Lord said, I knew you from birth, man, in the mother's womb. I made you a dangerous prophet. He told Jeremiah he's going to discontinue from his heritage. So again, put this into mind, man. And that's what we're doing now, seeking the Lord early. But the wicked people, they're going to find out the hard way. They're going to remember how Basham Shai is a terrible power, man. And not want to play with. Go ahead.
Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me.
And again, the Lord stands on that, man. The Lord is high and lofty. He can speak like that. But nobody else can. Because why? Because the Lord is the Most High, man. Heavenly Father is the Most High. Yahweh Basham Shai, man. So again, remember the things of old. How you do that? You got to read, man. You got to read. It says in Romans 15:4, things are written aforetime, written for our learning, right? The flood, Sodom and Gomorrah, plenty of examples of judgment, man. The Lord did to these kings and these rulers, these empires, bringing them up to bring them down and humbling them. What he did to Herod, what he did to, again, all the men of old that the Lord made examples of, man. Again, that Yahweh Basham Shai, he is, man. all these other gods of the nations, their idols, but all, you name it, man. You know, they're not real, man. JC, you know, Yahweh, Buddha, Allah. Okay, ain't nobody, again, ain't no power, able to do what the Lord is doing, man. Because why? Because He lives. You know, again, saying what I'm going to, speaking of things afar off, man. Ain't no God out here that can do that, because there is no other God besides Him, man. And that's the whole point. You know, looking for something.
Yeah.
You got it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to finish this, all right?
Okay.
Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
So the Lord spoke of things that have not yet come to pass yet. Showing again, it is a prophecy. That's a real prophecy. Ain't no Captain Obvious, or the sky's gonna be blue tomorrow. That's what weathermen do. And even they get that shit wrong, man. Most of the time they get that shit wrong, man. But the Yahweh Shai and His word, as we say, should never return unto Him void, meaning not accomplished. The angels out here doing His ministering, they're not flying around going to and fro to give the Lord a bad report, saying I couldn't do what you told me to do. That's madness, man.
Right.
Does that mean the Lord's not omnipotent, man? He's not all powerful. But the Lord kills and He makes a lot. Again, the Lord's doing all this stuff, man. And we're just here to report to you what's on the schedule, man. Jeremiah 28:8.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
Yeah, manifest meaning it's made known, man. It's seen. It's materializing, man. Right before your eyes, the end. Who's the end? Esau, man. Again, the prophecies. Again, the Lord spoke about it. The world being deceived and taking that M-A-R-K. That's what's happening, man. That's that strong delusion that you may believe a lie. That's these false doctrines.
Right.
Jude. These scriptures the Lord had written for us to see as a warning, man. That's what Jude is. It's a warning about false prophets and for us to keep the faith. False brethren, people just making up shit. And then they eventually get judged, man. So again, it's all part of the Lord's story, man. This kingdom collapsing, all right? Again, so on and so forth with what's on the schedule, man. But that was on that. If you want to grab, I want to get to that arcade. So get Revelation 13 verses. We'll go into that thing. We talk about what's the name? Mary J. Blige. Talk about that. Right. Talk about that thing, man.
I got it.
And who's gonna push that thing? Esau, man. That fourth beast being revived, which is Roman Empire in the form of NATO and the EU, man. And so-called America riding that beast, man. America been riding that beast, man. The whore that's on top, Remember these nations, they conform to that whore, man. And they reign with her for a season, man. But now you see them starting to pull apart. This is what happens. When divorce happens, man. You got infighting, bickering back and forth, Until what? Until that bill of divorce gets put out, man. And that's what these nations are trying to do with so-called America. No more trade deals, right? They don't want to deal with the dollar. They don't want to import American goods no more, Because why? Because we're getting ready for a time of war, right? But before that happens, we have to get into this. The MOTB, man. But go ahead, verse 13, verse 16.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. And He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Yep. So the object, the paragma, the M-A-R-K, is more than just an object. It's tied to a system of total control, man. Because this device is what's going to allow you to participate in this devil's world, man. We're going to read on to the next verses, man. But again, this is what's speaking, man. But everybody want to talk about all the type of BS that goes on in the world, man. You got college basketball coming around, NBA, you got NFL, you got a whole slew of catalog of BS, all right? Father, Son, and great dignity, while again, the system's being put into place, man. To entrap you, right, to get you ultimately set up for the okie doke for thermonuclear hellfire, man. You know? Keep reading.
Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell,
Yep.
save he that had the mark,
Yep.
or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Yep. So without this, you have no freedom, you know, unless you submit. And just like when Nebuchadnezzar erected that statue, at least you bowed down that you heard the sound of the cornet and certain instruments, right? And you pledge your allegiance, then you're gonna die and put in that furnace, man. And that's what Esau's gonna do in this time, man. You know, this is your banking, right? You can't do commerce, right? Because that's what buying and selling is, you know. This is where your ID is gonna be at, and this is ultimately tied to survival, man. So you cannot participate in this devil's world unless you have this device, man. Right? So that's what we should be talking about. What is that? Right? Like the Elder Apostles channel, man. What is the 666 mark, man? You know? Nobody else wants to talk about that. They want to talk about the Gentiles being saved. They want to talk about all the same other BS besides what's really important, man.
But hey, they're not talking about the digital. They're not talking about the digital ID.
Exactly.
The UK literally making it mandatory. If you don't got this digital ID and you an adult, you can't work. And if you can't work, you can't get paid. And if you don't get paid, you ain't buying or selling nothing. You don't got the digital ID, you can't have a driver's license. You can't go and purchase a place to stay. You can't buy certain things out the store. You know, you can't work. And all things lead to the chip. So these are the times we live in, and this is what's coming down the pipe. And it ain't far-fetched because we see them rolling out their laws and their requirements because it's in the UK, Africa, Swiss, Mexico having digital currencies.
Australia too.
Australia. Yeah, everybody in it. America, I forgot exactly what state it was, but it's a state in America that's that's going with the digital ID.
Damn.
And then they putting a digital ID, they putting a digital wallet and ID on iPhones. So we here. It's just not made mandatory yet.
Because the rails are being set up. It's the behind the scenes stuff. This is a big play. This isn't some shit you came together around the campfire and you're gonna do some shit around town. No, this is a whole global thing. Revelation 3 and 10, the hour temptation should try the whole world. You know, the whole world is participating in this NWO, man. Like the Bills made examples of nations around the world that are dealing with this stuff, man. Because it's going to be a global system, man. It's like the Tower of Babel. Everybody's speaking one language, okay, on one accord, one belief system. You know, it's all centralized, right? And it's all in direct rebellion against the Lord, man. You know, that 666 mark, man. Get that?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience.
Yeah, who's that? The elect. Right? The word of suffering, man. Because we're going to have to suffer, man. Because again, remembering all those things that we just mentioned, it involves you in this world, man. To get around town, to go out and purchase things, to feed your family, feed yourself. You know? You can't do none of that without this device, man. You know, and the Lord again, the Lord, we're Jacob, man. I'm sure there's a way for us to supplant that system, like Jacob always does, man. You know, there'll be a way around it, but it's gonna be a test of faith, man. But because thou hast kept the word of my patience, go ahead.
I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Yep, you go into that world, in Greek is wicked, man. So the entire planet Earth, man. Everywhere with a civilized society. You're gonna have to deal with that and make that decision, man. You know? Decision of what? To sin against your Lord, man. Sin against that before the how much side, man. Via this device. And most people it goes right over their head, man. It's not that big of a deal to them. People getting chipped now, man. But the whole time, you read the judgment for that, Revelation 14th chapter, you can get the full wrath of the Lord's indignation, man. You know? But it's not that big of a deal because why? Because people have that strong delusion on it, man. God is what have blinded them. The convenience factor of it, like with the juicy juice. They made it inconvenient for you not to have it, man. So the same thing with this MOTB system. It's manufactured consent, man. Manufactured demand for it, man. Nobody needs a C-hip. Everything's fine, man. Really, you can do that shit all on your phone. Why does it have to be inside of you? because he's a demon, man. You know, because again, this goes into the end, man. The end being manifest is Esau, man. Only Esau would do this. You know, that's something.
Well, I was gonna say too, and just like with the Ovid, they use celebrities, the people that Jake look up to sponsor that. So what more is it like when MOT rolls around?
And they wouldn't even get it.
Yeah, right. So yes, poster child for it.
But when that micro seed come out, they go get it, because it says all men, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
Yeah.
So it don't matter who you is or what you got going on, you got to get that.
Right. But again, people here in these times still say the Bible's a fairy tale, right? Just because they don't say in your language in modern terms, it don't say missiles. It don't say RFID chip. Now you want to be simple. It's in code, like we were talking about earlier, man. The Lord spoke parables because why? Because only for you to know the mysteries, man. Everybody else can be bugged the hell out, man. Here it is in a world of AI surveillance, biometrics, digital currencies, CBDCs, global tracking, all this stuff, man.
World War III,
social credit system.
Yeah, people done heard wars and rumors of wars. Wars and rumors of wars. Earthquakes in diverse places. Uproars of the people. People quote the script. People like to say the Bible a fairy tale, but people constantly quoting the scriptures. And the Bible is one of the number one books being sold in the world to this day. Yeah, to this day.
The number one most misconstrued book of all time. Mm-hmm. We'll go ahead and get that Thessalonians.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter.
Wait, slot. Because what other book is up there?
There's no other books, bro.
That's selling and the most talked about and the most controversy over. Because they're not going that hard over the Talmud or over the Quran or over the Book of the Dead or over any of them other books. The conversations ain't not too many conversations. Ain't no conversations being had about them other books.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. Because the other books, like you said, the Talmud is used to try to escape the scriptures, man. That's what the small heads deal with, man. Dealing with Sabbath days, and dealing with little boys and shit, man. And so they can avoid, ultimately how about some That's them. That's Psalm 83rd chapter. The crafty counsel. They want to cut the bands asunder. They don't want to be serving unto the Lord no more. That's why they make these books to try to denounce the Lord. That's why they probably use false prophets. But again, nothing stands true besides the word of Yahweh.
That's right.
Go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Yeah, but who's the wicked? Esau, man. Get it. Real quick. Move all things. Malachi 1:4. Because we just hate because he's white. No, man. It's more than that. It's Esau. We don't hate because of skin color. We're not simple up here, man. We hate you because you go to that line and lineage of evil. And the Lord hates you, man. You got it.
Yeah, because this is deeper than skin color. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse. Shit, I'm gonna just start at 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Yep. Jake said that because they're measuring themselves against the heathens. Right? They'll see the heathens having a so-called swell time. The whole time you don't understand that they're going to be judged. What did the Lord do with the Babylonians? What did the Lord do with the Greeks and the Romans? He judged them, man. But Jake want to join hand in hand with the wicked, right? And that's what they're doing now in these times, man. In so-called America. Want to chase that American dream. I want to blame the so-called white man. I want to have a picket fence. I want to have a 2-car garage. I want to go to his schools. And be accepted in his curriculum. Be equal. No, man, we're over him, man. But that's what Jake said. Where hast thou loved us? Because Jake not reading, man. Go ahead.
There's a side note real fast. He was mocking reading.
Really?
Yeah. Can't stand fucking punk ass bitch. Yeah, he with his woman, so he want to act all tough. Yeah. He didn't know that we was with y'all, so I'm looking like this.
That's bad, man.
Right, hey. It's the spirit we talking about Esau right here. Yeah, so yeah, that's Esau in the background.
It's just the demons.
Yeah.
People got demons on them. They can't control their own emotions. That's sad, man. You don't gotta like what we're talking about. What the hell you got?
Exactly.
For? Just keep going about your business. You know. But you know, he felt less of a man next to us. That's what it was.
That's
what it was. He's trying to impress his woman.
Yeah.
What they say, like cowards make jokes. You know, try to ward off the, try to fit in. You know. Yeah, I forgot how it goes. It's an old saying.
She probably should date a black guy or something.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Or she wants to.
Yeah.
If she's of college age, you know she's gonna get turned out by a dick. Some nigga that can jump between the legs.
The wide receiver and got to it.
You know, run a deep run.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
Again, you have to understand that the Lord is dealing with lines of people, not to get it confused. Okay, the Lord deals with lineages. He divided the sons of Adam. Okay, he gave everyone their inheritance. But who did he choose? He chose Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right, the seed of the promise, Israelites. Right, and they're here today. Same with Esau. Right, this precept really is gonna hit in the kingdom of heaven, man. Right, it hits now for us because we believe. We know that Esau's going down, but it's really gonna hit in the kingdom, man. When Esau's hemmed up, shackles and chains, right? Just say, is this the man? You know, he's all frail in his real form, grunting like we was talking about a couple weeks ago, growling, you know, booty scratching.
This
motherfucker ran the earth.
This filthy brute beast, troglodyte.
I heard it on something.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord. Yet I love Jacob.
The Lord loved Jacob, man. He chose Jacob. He set aside Esau. He's going to do it again, man. Isaiah 14 chapter, he shall yet choose Israel. Israel, Jacob's name later changed to Israel, man.
Yet all nations can make it. Who got the nation of Edom? Wait, ain't Moab really made a wash spot? About Moab. Then the scripture say the Lord gonna hate Amalek forever.
Mm-hmm.
What about them? So Amalek can make it. Moab's supposed to be the wise spot, but they gonna make it. Esau, Edom, the one that's hated by the Lord, he gonna make it. It don't make sense, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like a newer video.
I love bringing this shit out. This is what they gonna go back to.
I'm gonna say that's a newer video though, right?
Yeah.
For the Whitakers.
People watch that, feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
You know what they probably live in mountains for they probably mountain. You know.
I mean they all incest, you know.
Yeah.
So that's brothers and cousins and sisters.
That's the hills have eyes.
That's what I was just about to say. The hills have eyes.
You know, back in the ancient days, they used to get down on somebody. They find you in the woods. They probably setting traps for people back in the day. Maybe.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre families. Something similar.
Cannibals and all that.
You don't know what they did to a servant of the Lord.
Yeah,
You know?
Ain't no telling what they did in their past.
And then, yeah, exactly.
It's all Lord's will.
Came back and fucked them up.
And I hated Esau and laid his mountains
But you can't abhor Edom.
and his heritage waste.
Yep, so Esau don't have a heritage. That's why he's always going out robbing and stealing, man. His heritage is murder. He's the first murderer, man. Which you go into the spirit of Cain, which came back as, you know, that's Esau's lineage, man. Pillaging, plundering, destroying, raping, robbing. That's his heritage. And it still stands true today, man. You know? We went into what, 2 weeks ago again now. How many years has this man been at war since he's been in power? Literally every year he's been in power, he's been at war. But he's supposed to be the people. Peaceful people. Come on, man.
Go back to the Romans, the Greeks, all of that. They always been at
They
war.
fight each other.
Always.
Like you said, cavemen. That's what cavemen do, man. That's Esau, man.
And they're at war with the people every day. When they on the news, how they speak to them, how they talk about different crises, it's to incite people to push fear. And then fear pushes them looking for some type of guidance, order out of chaos. That's what they've been programming the people, to really trust their word.
Yeah, and that nigga woman that came out talking about we was fear mongers. Disease.
It's unprecedented. Just real quick, because I was looking recently. For those who watched the market. Jerome Powell, he couldn't make his decision because everything's based off of data. And for the first time, I think in like 900 months, they weren't able to get the jobs report data. So that streak was broken. They were speaking how this is unprecedented for America. But a lot of times, they pump fear, to reset cycles, so they can liquidate, and steal the rich from the common folks, and get all their money. Because during the C-19, they did the same thing. We got the Fed came out and cut interest rates down to zero. This is something that's never been happened before. It's all a war on the people, right? And every day, this man wakes up and says, "How can I screw the people over?" Especially the Israelites.
I got something real quick about them fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites, is the Revelation 6:4. And there went not another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Those things you observe and you see, man. As Israel's a sign, right? The prophets getting raised up. Jake acting a fool out here. That's a sign. Curses, right? Same with Esau, man. The scriptures is a child's book. The Lord said you gotta be as children, right? It should be easily understood, man. Bad, good. Stay away, return to, man. And that's how it is again when we discern who serves the Lord and who doesn't, man. And again, who's in power, what he's doing, he's going out with a great sword, going into his blessing, and taking peace from the earth. He's not bringing peace, he's taking peace, right? He's robbing peace, right? When he goes and raises up prices and you can't feed your family, that's taking peace, man.
Prime example, I got a ticket Sunday. And I remember tickets back in the day was like anywhere from 25, 50 bucks. You know how much the ticket was? $240. And it wasn't a speeding one. Roll on. And a stop. Bro, I had to creep up, and you know what I'm saying? It was,
240?
241 to be actually.
241? Oh, stop sign?
Stop sign.
Yo, that's crazy.
And look, when you look on when you get the ticket, I bet the judge's fee is more than the judge's fee is probably 10 times the actual penalty.
Yeah.
Because like you have the civil penalty, and then you also have to pay the judge. Right? You have the fee for the judge.
Fucking money record, man.
Yeah.
41 for a stop sign that you didn't even blow?
Yeah, because back in the remember speeding tickets, it was like $280. It was like $50 for the fine, but the ticket from the court costs.
Exactly.
That's what you're really paying.
Shit. Right.
The funny part is Esau give you time to get that money up.
Yeah, you can keep getting continuances too.
Yeah.
Like about 3, I think.
Yeah.
Damn.
Shit, I'm gonna make sure I stop.
I'm telling you, bro.
God damn.
You heard some at the end of verse 3. And laid his mountains and his heritage waste.
He did it at the time of the Greeks and Romans. He's gonna do it again this time, man. Certain dynasty the Lord had, going into Renaissance period, the French, the British, Spanish, those empires fell, man.
Or his literal mountains. Mount Seir.
Yeah. Mountains is more so one of the governments. But yeah, you're right. He lived in high places, because he saw, like he said, you go into this downtown where you see high rises, it's a sign of Esau, a caveman's empire, But then here it is, you got a water leak at floor 17, you know, and everybody below you now they suffer. Now they had the whole that happened in Tampa. You know, it's a real fancy ass apartment complex called the Element. They had a water burst, water line burst, and they had to literally evacuate everybody out of the building, man.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
the whole fucking building was flooded because the line broke above, like it's like 20 is at the fucking top.
Yep.
You know, that goes into confusion. But this is how he runs his society, man. You know, same architecture, same language. You know, Roman numerals, his laws, all right. How this nigga's always violence. You know, blood, backstabbing. You know, that's what he does, man.
If I may add, you know, because like you say, these building structures, they really don't make sense. But if it makes money, it makes sense to him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The scales. You know, he's not asking for God's approval. He wants his cabinet approval.
Yep.
Can I build this? How much
Yep.
it's gonna make us? All right, cool, build it.
Yep.
That's his God is money, man.
That's right.
I forgot this saying. Who was a prophet? The Rothschild the prophet. If God's their money, if money's their God, then the Rothschilds are their prophet. What the paraphrase?
Yeah, I heard something like that. Yeah.
But they'll straight up tell you their God is Satan, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the real people that are in power, they'll tell you,
It was coming out, the 1948ers, they worship Satan.
yeah, exactly. That's the quote. Yep. They won't admit it, but their God is Satan, man.
Yeah, they worship Satan.
They tell you when they do a little summons, that little demon comes out. I heard about that. It goes back to Yoda from Star Wars.
Interesting. I think I heard something about that.
Yeah. Yep.
For the past, they worship Saturn. That's what they do, man.
Damn.
Yeah, they're wicked, man. You know, if you notice,
144. Wow.
that's good. If you ever seen, it's an ideology called as above, so below. That's that dude style will going to House Crawley.
Yeah.
You know, they go into Saturn worship. The rings and shit. You know, he sells a demon. So it goes to the point. You don't have no heritage. You don't have no God. This man is a demon, man.
Yep.
You know, they worship the Lord's creation, but don't give him no credit, man. You try to create a whole system to subvert him, to go around the Lord, you know. But he's mimicking everything the Lord does, man. You know. We'll keep reading.
Verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished.
Yep, and that's what he's saying now. He's saying now we're impoverished. We got no money. We're broke. Let's make up a war. You know. Let's.
Now I was gonna say, well, we just left the restroom, right? And when we was up in the store, Vic was you got to either might walk in and say, hey, I remember back in 2008, you know, coffee shops used to stay open, you know, to 10 o'clock. He was like, that was when they could afford their work. He's like, now you can't even afford to pay nobody. He was talking about how when he was back in high school, that's even might hurt. 40 years old, realizing the American dream has been a lie the whole time.
We're in that cycle. That fiat debt, the money that we're using, it's at the end of it, man. You know, it's being stretched thin because why? Because again, going to Esau's mentality, he's going to build back better. I got a better idea. The first I did didn't work. Let me do something better. Let's build back better. Go ahead. That's his pride. Go ahead.
If I may say, going back to that sacrifice of fruit, you know, I got a better sacrifice.
The Lord didn't mean that. He meant fruit.
Yeah, like the fuck.
It's
They
like,
can
yo,
look all nice and pretty.
it's like you tell your girl what to make. You expecting her to make it. Oh, babe, I made this. What?
I thought you liked that.
Damn, I've been telling you what I wanted all week.
You know what's funny? My dad used to get mad at my mom for that shit. He'd be like, "Oh, you making this? All right, cool." But then she'll add a different spice to it or something else. My dad be like, "I ain't want this shit."
Shit offensive.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna try something new.
Exactly. No,
Experiment. I'm hungry. Experiment.
make it how you always make it. You know?
They don't like change.
Yeah,
The Lord don't change.
it's true. That's right.
Whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Yep. And remember what Esau said when he sold his birthright. Nigga was starving. I'm hungry. You know, what is his birthright to me? He probably was holding his stomach. You know, he was impoverished, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what Esau's doing now. The man is impoverished, right? And what is he going to do? He's going to build back a so-called better system, which we were going into earlier, Revelation 13 chapter, verse 16 on down. I got a better system, man. You know? And it's going to be sold to you as convenience. While you sell away your soul all right, to participate in this dumbass world, man. You know?
Jacob was like, "Are you stupid?"
Literally.
Like, all right,
Sure.
It's not even that deep. You don't deserve. If you think so little of this birthright, you let me have it then. You about to die, then die.
Yep. And what was the birthright? The earth. Right? So how's Esau treating the earth, his birthright? He sold it. Esau sold out, man. He's gonna let the robots take over. He's gonna give it to the robots. That's what Esau's gonna do with his blessing. That's literally what he's doing, man. You know? So he don't need to be in power. He can sit his ass down somewhere soon, man. But finish about the show.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts.
This is the response. Go ahead.
They shall build,
Yep.
but I will throw down.
The Lord gonna kick this shit down, man. Again, if you got children, you know what that means, man. What I say, clean this shit up. You come back, it's not clean up. What you gonna do? You gonna break it down, man. That's what the Lord's doing. Esau's breaking it down, man. Go ahead.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Yep. They're going to be made an example, just like with Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? That border of wickedness is going to be what? So-called America. Babylon the Great. It's completely annihilated and destroyed. Read Revelation 13th chapter, man. The after effect of what happens when Esau's in power. Okay? It's going to be an example. This beautiful landmass, which was beautiful, man. Ask Gad, ask Reuben, ask the northern tribe, right? Issachar. This place is beautiful, man. I mean, America, the continent as a whole, not just so-called America, Canada.
Why you think, huh?
Now you got it.
It was so beautiful. Why you think Gad was, we were a bunch of idol worshipers, but
That's that they're worshiping.
we were worshiping. Yeah, so beautiful, yeah.
That's facts. Yep. That's Wisdom of Solomon 14th chapter. They're ignorant. They see the beautiful things and they worship them as gods. And the whole time you should have been worshiping the Creator. You see the sun, the moon, the stars, But I'll keep it.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Forever. So it's not going away. The Lord didn't pull back on Esau. While you niggas out here finding loopholes to try to save the heathen, especially Esau, the Lord hate. It's actually more purified, man. The Lord didn't hate Edom enough. He had a hedge around him because why? Because prophecy had to be fulfilled. All right. And again, we're gonna see that again. Really, the nation's gonna see. Okay, because we know who this nigga is, man.
Right.
But the rest of the world's gonna find out the hard way. Okay, they got an inkling like, man, this man ain't right. I mean, duh.
Look at his track record speaks for itself.
But again, it goes into deception. It's a high level of witchcraft. Okay, because something so obvious, all right, if it's explained to you, they're like, okay, it's like a card trick. Oh, nigga just flick his thumb this way. Okay, that nigga's bullshit. But again, with the people of the world, they don't see the sleight of hand, man. That's why that's Romans 13 chapter, not Romans, Revelation 13 chapter. They're wandering after the beast.
Yeah, they've been dumbed down.
They've been dumbed down. Yep.
They're going mad.
They've gone mad.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Isaiah 26 and 10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. There's Samuel says, as saith the old proverb, wickedness proceeded from the wicked. Esau, Edom, he can't do good. No matter how much, authority he's been given, no matter where you put him, this man has been put into a position where he has he can dictate what happens to someone in their life. When he sees people suffer, he just like shrugs his shoulder and then just walks on to the next thing to make the next thing a disaster. This man has not done anything in righteousness, not one day of his whole life. Not one time has this man ever done any good. He can't do it. And that's why the earth is waxing old. It's hard to find any good quality of anything because it's all decaying under this man's rulership. And people are finally waking up that America is not it. This is This is trash.
Yeah. That's why everybody has a exit plan on how to overcome what's been put before them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here's a $3 budget meal. Feed your whole family. It don't work like that, man. Exactly.
You know how they're feeding their whole family by creating an Instagram reel telling you
Exactly.
to go do
Exactly.
that. That's the real dream.
You know, Esau is like, it's a saying. I'm allergic to the bullshit. Esau is allergic to righteousness, man. You know.
And if he does do any good, it's for profit.
I was thinking that too. Yep.
Because you got to think about all the medicines and things created out there. You can't get access to it unless you got insurance or you got money.
John Q showed you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that insurance company can turn you down. Any type of procedures.
They usually have a certain like a list of doctors you can go to.
The in-network shit.
Network stuff. You can't go, oh, no, you ain't going to holistic, you're going to go to this nigga.
Meanwhile, the elites be using holistic doctors, man.
They elites and stuff. But that's what they do. That's what they do. They're not part of the game that they created. They're on the other side of the game.
Right.
Yeah. They created the Matrix. They the robots putting, setting it up.
Right. Was that the Equalizer? When I think it's the second one. He was in Italy.
It was the third one.
The third one, and he was being because they have like different doctors like for like those hitmen and stuff like that. You know, they're not going to your local hospital.
That's
Yeah.
This is Job 5:12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Yeah, so the Lord's going to do it, man. It's not going to be us. Esau is so far gone into his NWO agenda, nobody can stop him. You know? Remember Esau's head start. Anybody got 400 years of free slavery and work, you're going to be ahead. Imagine playing Monopoly and you had to wait 400 times to go. You lose. You have no chance.
So far behind.
Every place you land on, if you roll the dice, you gotta pay your tax.
You gotta pay everything.
Everywhere you land on, pay your tax. And these niggas, they don't got the 4 houses. They put the hotel up there for lease already.
You're done.
You know what I mean? And they got the whole block. It's all the same color house. I'm blue, I'm red. No, it's all blue houses.
Same material, same goddamn towel, same soap.
You know, they all look exactly the same.
I buy that shit in bulk. You know?
By the time you go pass go again, you in debt. You know, you pass go, you circle the board one time. All right, it's hard for me to click my go. You in debt. You still open the last time, remember?
And that's how he set up the system. So you're always you always owe him. You know, it's good to say the servant is lord over the borrower. As soon as you borrow money, you're in debt, man. You're not free. You owe me. You know, you're gonna work that off until you pay me, or you're gonna have a bad credit score. Good luck getting a loan. Good luck buying a house. You know, good luck doing any fucking thing. Now jobs they run your credit. They got a 400 credit score. You're not getting this job. Nigga, no way.
Yeah.
Risk factor.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. They take that into account when you go into an interview. It's you're selling yourself, man. It's a proposition. You're about to invest yourself into them by your work, and they're gonna invest in you by giving you a paycheck.
I used to work at an airport. They did that.
See,
I was like, man.
You know, but that's what he do. You know, do it one more time.
Like, what if I need this job to get my credit score?
It's to keep niggas out.
Exactly. That's the point.
That's nigga filter.
Because basically, what we're going into is like a social class, right? A social class is a division of a society based on social and economic status. The haves and the have-nots. You shall own nothing and be happy. That's talking about the cattle are not going to be partakers of the new world, that's come. We saw in the Hunger Games. You know, that's basically where we're living at now. They just don't have the major event that happens every year for you to go delete each other for their entertainment. They don't have you there yet, but the walls are already set up. They're just building the stadium, you know, for you to go and play in.
And ain't nothing wrong with a social class, but it's literally this nigga has everything and nobody has shit. You know?
Ain't China already doing that? The social system?
The social credit stuff, yeah, because they're communists. You know, they everything. It's easy over there because there's no competition. Imagine there only being one brand for everybody. You know, and there's no say so. There's no free market. So it's a little more over here. It's more confidence. That's why you gotta catch up with China. What the hell does that mean? They're ahead because they can do things progressively like that because no one is resisting.
Bring it out, bro.
God, this is Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty.
Who's that? The elites. Again, we're not talking about everyday Joe Smo driving around in a 4x4. We're talking about the elites, man. Right, that you can't even breathe around. You're not gonna bump shoulders with. You're not gonna see them in traffic with your dumb ass. You honking and waiting. No, they're somewhere in an offshoot location that you'll never be able to track.
Yeah.
Okay, and doing what? Running the world. You know, it's not a secret. It's so secret they'll tell you. That's how powerful they are. You know, it's called revelation of the method. You know, but if you want to find out, you can find out, man. You know, but a lot of people find out they get deleted. You know, but the Lord has a hedge about His prophets because we got to tell the truth, man.
Yep.
You know, nothing but it.
The Truman Show. You had the movie The Truman Show. Jim Carrey. You live in the world that he created. You know.
When you go into that word enterprise, Elder Apostle Barrows goes into it. You know, matter of fact, if you can grab it, etymology of enterprise, it's undertaking. He goes into his Latin motto. You know. Whoever got it, I'm sure that etymology of enterprise.
I got it.
Okay, you go ahead.
It says the undertaking, formerly also enterprise from Old French enterprise, and undertaking, noun used past. Let's see. Let me get to the point.
Take in hand.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, to take.
It says take in
catch.
hand right above that.
To seize.
Yep, to seize.
Yeah.
Yep, and the enterprise will go into that chip, man.
Yep.
To take in hand.
Oh yeah,
okay?
I see it. Yeah, take your hand. Yep.
And you go into on the back of the dollar bill, okay? Got plenty of sayings back there, but one of them is the Nua Coeptus.
Yep.
And what does the Nua Coeptus mean? You know, it goes to God favors us, man. You know, He favors what? He says. We know that the understanding is save us and call you the Heavenly Father, man. You know? But again, he worships the left hand, man. Sinister. He's the devil. Right? So again, what's in plan for his NW agenda is nothing good, man. Nothing righteous. Okay? And the Lord's gonna disappoint that. So he can't perform that, man.
Would you finish, George?
I had a precept.
I got a precept too, real quick. He traps the wise in the snare of their own cleverness.
So all that work you're doing, that energy you're putting forward is going to be used against you, man. Spiritual jujitsu, man. You know, it's called a slippery slope effect. Everything you do, you try to forward yourself. Think about quicksand. It just accelerates your demise, man. Every legislation, every decree, everything this devil does on the left hand side to forward his agenda, all right, it's going to bring him down closer to his demise, man.
Yep.
That's what the Lord does, man. He's going to use the wicked in their hands to destroy themselves. Hence, nuclear missiles. Why are they there? There's nowhere else in life should missiles exist besides them to be used to destroy this wicked world, man.
The funny thing is, if he didn't have that power, right, the type of technology and the control of the resources he has over the people, he could stall them out.
Right.
You know, he just has to preserve his little section, his little sanctuary. But the Lord created and a lot of them have missiles so he can destroy even himself.
Got more. Verse 20, 1 Corinthians 3 and 20 in NLT. And again, the Lord knows the thoughts of the wise. He knows they are worthless. do not boast about following a particular human leader,
Right.
for everything belongs to you. That was the point.
Yep. Again, going to the point, the wisdom of this world is literally it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's gonna get you nowhere. Vain meaning empty. And again, you look into Esau's world, it's a definition of vain, man.
Yep.
Nothing is certain in this life. Nothing, man. You know? Because why? Because it's a vain society, man. You wake up, one day you're thinking about this. You wake up next day thinking about that.
Literally, big number.
This is Psalms 50 and 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before your eyes.
Yep, let's go into that. New this manifest destiny. God was with me. To an extent, he's right, man. That's what the devil does, man. He tells half truths. Thou shalt not surely die. You shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. He's telling half truths, man. So him saying God was with him, yeah, you're right, but that's seasonal, man. God's not with you no more, man. God's with you ultimately to destroy yourself, man. So again, when that's why Esau, when he does stuff, he has no remorse. He thinks he's God's chosen people, man. Those small hats. They'll grab up little boys, bomb cities of innocent people and children, and they don't lose an hour of sleep because why? Because they think they're God's chosen people, man.
No remorse, no sympathy,
Nothing.
no affection.
But that's why you go to like Alex Jones and son, all those troopers. They'll bug out and say the elites are like reptilians, they're like reptiles. But that's how these niggas act, man. That's not a real thing, but they're cold-blooded, man.
Yeah.
Because they don't look at you as that sentimentality. Oh, that's my friend. He's a human. They don't give a shit about that shit.
What they call you, Goyim?
Goyim, yeah.
That's the spirit of the
Did I see
Edomite.
Young thug seeks blessing from Rabbi. Oh, he about to get bent over.
They about to get bent, yeah.
Look at that face, got the bonnet on.
Wow.
He about to suck some toes and all that.
I want your eyes.
When he saw
All right.
some punches, bro, that's crazy. Digging the hole, he going to them small hats.
Yeah.
Small
Yep.
Damn.
He going to them
So
small
he going to them, probably going to them small hats to make sure he stay out of jail.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
He wanted a blessing. What do you want a blessing for? He didn't go to God. He didn't go to the Lord, to the prophets.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
went to a small hat.
Exactly.
He want to
Young
stay out of
Thug?
jail.
Yeah.
Young thug.
He's been a body boy.
Yeah, he did,
since
yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
He had the dress on.
Yep.
It's been like that for him. That's how he got so big so fast. One song,
One song.
that was alright, and then you play it on the radio for forever.
Right.
Forever. That thing was on the radio for 2 years.
The translator to understand it.
But this is a second Ezra 15 and 7. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Says, behold, the righteous blood crieth unto me. It's like, behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
That's what it says. Vengeance belongs unto the Lord, man. We can't avenge ourselves with this. We in a fucked up situation, man. Where are we gonna go and run from to escape this? Nowhere, man. It don't matter where you go on the earth, right? This system's gonna be in place, man.
Yep.
You run around to the Amazon, right? If you don't get hit by them natives over there by arrow or get bit by a snake, you don't have to drone flying over you. They're gonna send a task force after you, man.
Yep. And you have Esau Edom, what he's the accuser of the brethren. He's created a society that's predicated on Jake's downfall to keep him sinning against the Lord, and then he's thinking like, all right, I got him down. Proving that he's created different policies in the earth, and his craft is prospering. His world that he's created is prospering. And he thought that it was going to be forever, but the innocent blood, there's a righteous, a remnant that would never bow down the knee to the image of Baal that the Lord has preserved. And that's what you see being raised up, calling this man out for all the wickedness that he's doing right now. It's over for you, sleazy.
Right.
You've done too much.
His nakedness is revealed, as the scripture says. His skirt being lifted up.
And that's how you know, again, the Lord is in power because Esau, he did a real good work on covering his tracks, man. You know, he did the best he could to try to cover himself up. That covering cast, he tried to hide and mix himself with the nations. You know, he covered up certain artifacts and things that would straight up tell you who he is. You know, but there's still things that leak through, man. Because why? Because hey, anything that's supposed going to apply, what spoils it again is inside information, man.
And you know what's crazy? If he was melanated and brown skinned, he would have been able to blend in amongst.
He tried to do that. He did what Esau.
But,
Esau did, but no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's that mark.
Yeah, that's that mark, man. Because he was brown skinned like Arabs, Indians, or any other heathen nation that's brown skinned. He would have maybe tried to blend in.
Yeah, for a little bit, but then
You gotta figure it out.
he pissed. Yeah, I got that precept. This is Psalms 10 and 2. The wicked in his pride do persecute the poor. Let them be taken into the vice that they have imagined. For the wicked boasts of his heart desire, and blesses the covetous, whom the Lord abhorred. Right? So the wicked, Esau is like through his actions, he's being shown who he really is. He's persecuting the poor, and through his pride, he doesn't think that destruction is really going to follow because he's winning. So he's trying to paint the picture, but he's already. That's why they're trying to take down the statues, of all the wickedness that they have done, the memorials of the wickedness that they have done. They want to. What do you say?
Well, some of the Confederate statues are starting to take down.
But they want to paint a whole new digital world where it's just like we've never done this. But that digital world is a prison planet, for your mind, even more than it is already now. You got
You want to get 13 for that? He takes the wise and all. Yeah, this is Job 5 and 13. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong.
Again, that's what the Lord's going to do, man. Again, using his wisdom against him. His wisdom on the left-hand side is perverting him. That's Isaiah 47th chapter. You got all his stargazers and
Yes. Yeah.
And soothsayers. On the left-hand side, you try to what? To forward his agenda, man. And it's not working, man. So ultimately, again, it's adding more punishment on top of him, man. That's why, again, going to Esau, he would never be forgiven, man. Because why? He found no place of repentance. He's doubling down, tripling down on his evil, man. He's not going to say, I'm sorry. After all this, he might give you some crocodile tears. Karen try to act like she's sad and sorry, and she just hit your little child, whatever, or lied on you because while you in the pool, nigga, the whole time you lived there, and she's gonna say sorry. That's Esau sorry. But again, going to him doubling down, that's what the Lord got to take him out, man. Oh man, that's just good. Did I read that testimony?
You guys be careful, man.
I read class that.
Oh man.
Very careful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't finish it because I was going into wicked. We was explaining what Esau was. We didn't bring out Job before this. All right, go ahead.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed.
So when that, meaning it's going to be in order, right? Prophecy is going to play out in order. This is a story being played out. And then, go ahead.
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Which is who? The prophets, okay? The Lord waking up his servants, and even people that are in his circle telling on himself, man. His own tongue shall fall upon himself. You got whistleblowers, you got insiders, you got infighting, you got division.
Yep.
Right? Them not agreeing at the table. I can't do this. It's against my moral code. Even the devil is tired of the devil, man. Mm-hmm. The devil is saying the devil is going too far. Yep. That's what we are with prophecy. That's how bad it's gotten, man, and twisted it's gotten.
You know how they be. Wait a minute.
Right now,
imagine that. But that's who we are, man. That's how sick this guy is, man. And that's how far he's willing to take it. Far beyond anybody would even imagine, man. Yeah. That's why the Lord has to stop this guy. Go ahead.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
So Yahushua is coming personally to deal with this guy. That's how bad it's gonna be. Yahweh Shai's gonna have to come and deal with Esau. The Lord could have came back in any generation. You know, all the evil that's happened on earth until Adam. He's coming now at this time. You know, physically, not metaphorically, not just a chariot. You know, himself. Okay, Yahweh Shai is coming himself, man. You know, to deal with this evil on earth, man. To show you what real power is. You know, real order is. Because you people in this world, you still wandering after the beast, man. You oohing and ahhing, man.
Yeah.
You'll say how bad it is, you know, and then you'll say, what about the function on Saturday? You know, where the bitches at?
Yeah, they worshiping the image of the beast.
Send them a check and they'll forget everything.
That's why the Lord has the elect. That's a good point, man. Because if it weren't for the elect, says to say no flesh should be saved, everybody would sell out, man. And then the Lord has to just let this place go, man. You know, just like in the time of Noah, man, Noah found grace. The elect of Yahweh Shai found grace inside the Lord because ultimately the Lord's word is on the line, man. The Lord ain't gonna be found a liar. Keep reading.
Verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Who's working is after the working of Satan. Go to that word working is energy. You know, it's energia. I'll probably grab it. Okay, but this is what he does. He does the working of the devil, man. He's his apprentice, man. Esau is Satan's apprentice, man. You know?
What verse you on?
He's on verse 9. The word is working.
Yep, this is working. This is the Strong's G 1753. It says energia working efficiently.
Working.
Hey, like. When you tap into these AI companies, it's working. These niggas are generating revenue to keep the power, and that revenue is what? Is continuing with the powering of the future enterprise of their system. You know, it's working. They're working towards this year. Has been a big push in that sector of the AI brain. You know, genetic AI. You know, they pushed all these fully perfectly crisp AI videos. Why? So they can get even more control. We need regulations on what goes on to the internet. You know, so that's all working towards their enterprise.
To go into that word efficiency, it goes into his algorithms. Algorithms are problem solving. What is Esau's problem? He wants to control everybody. What's the solver? His tech, man. You know, his technology.
Yep.
You know, and this technology is demonic, man. Your phone, okay? Eventually the MOTB, the mark of the beast, man. It's all demonic technology, man. These cars, which, you know, we're in the flesh, we be like, yo, this shit cool, it makes sound, but it's demonic, man. Why am I here? I remember I was doing a video a couple years ago. I'm at a park. I'm in the middle of nowhere at a park, some state-sponsored park, and I hear an airplane. Why do I hear air traffic in the middle of the woods, man? You know? I should be hearing birds chirping, but what's dominated in the background is you still hear cars going past, miles up and down the road, and you hear airplanes, man. You know? This is demonic technology. It's not in synergy with the Lord's creation, man.
Yep.
Fucking confusion. It's confusion.
I'll start at the top again. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:9.
If I may add about the cell phone, it's a black mirror. So it's basically a portal that's in your hand that you can summon wickedness on and be influenced by it.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's the influence of wickedness.
That's what deception is. Programming. You know, a lot. You go into deception, which we're not going to veer too off on the point, but it's going to go into deceiving people on the earth. It's under the layer of your conscience, meaning it's not within your conscious thought. Your conscious thought is, I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. I'm gonna get up at 7. That's conscious thought. What's subconscious is these things they put in your mind, man. Buy, consume, worship.
They might be flashing something.
Yep.
They be flashing something on the screen that you can't see, but you subconsciously see it.
It's under. What does that sound like? That chip, man, under the skin, right? Think about it, man. This is what he does, man. He's a demon, man.
Yep.
Verse 2 Thessalonians 2:9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth that they might be saved.
Yep. And I read it in the NLT, that verse 9. So 2 Thessalonians 2, in verse 9 in NLT, it says, this man, okay, so it's a person, right? This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. And that's that sign so-called, man, the pseudo, man. All he's doing is trying to mimic the Lord, man.
Yep.
GMO, artificial this.
Everything was already created perfectly fine.
Exactly. He just put this stuff together, man. Which the Lord gave him the mind to do so, man. It's a nuclear missile. Think about the math. That's why it's called rocket science. The math behind rockets is insane, man. And then now you got GPS, man. And now the shit can maneuver mid-flight. At one point in time, you go into Little Boy and Fat Man with the atomic bombs. It had to be delivered physically, man. The payload, you had to fly over the place and you had to drop the bomb. Now you just press a button, man, and it's gone. That's Isaiah 95, man. Yeah. But that's because why? Because the Lord has them with counterfeit power, man. So the Lord, just like with Pharaoh got raised up with counterfeit power. Nobody on earth was closer to God than Pharaoh at that time. For him to get flooded out and destroyed, man, and the Israelites to be delivered, man. Same thing's happening this time, man. We have some.
Lord, it'll come out, Lord.
I'll keep reading.
This is 2 Thessalonians.
Read it this season.
Okay. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Yep. Someone get out Revelation 19th chapter. Get out verse 20. So they're going to be deceived to take this MERK, man. Because think about it. You know logically, putting something in your skin is a bad idea. Putting a device under your skin is probably a bad idea, man.
I got it.
But what? Why are you going to take this device? Because one, you're going to be coerced to take it, right? But more so, you're going to be deceived to take it, man. What?
This you said 20 verse, right?
Yes, sir.
Revelation 19 and 20, and the beast was taken.
Yep, who's the beast? Okay, because we got to talk about this stuff, man.
Yep.
People again, they mysticize the scriptures, which it's symbolic. Certain things are symbolic, some things are not. Some things are literal. The buy and sell part is literal, man.
Yep.
It's not symbolic. No, man. The buy and sell is literal. Okay, because it's a temptation on the earth, right?
Hey, I may say, because that dude Charles and White was saying, the MO. Well, he said the mark of but the MOTB is the phones. It's the phones. He said because it got the trip, you tripping her. You know how he talk, man. And you got it in your hand and then your forehead.
That means everybody's fault.
Exactly.
Right?
You can buy, but anyway, it's like it's a
but the beast is going into what? Esau's power structure.
Yep.
The 10 horns, 7 heads. Okay. And who rides the beast is America, man. Modern time is going to the NATO, the EU, man. All right, that's the beast. All right. Go ahead.
Yep. Revelation 19 and 20, and the beast was taken.
Modern day Roman Empire, the 4th beast. Okay. Talking about the 4th beast. The Roman Empire coming back. That deadly wound.
The deadly wound. And with him, the false prophet.
All right. Who's the false prophet? Okay. Because we got false prophets. All right.
Right.
So false prophet it's a mechanism. Okay. It's how he's able to push his lies and deception, man. Him again, and that man is a sign of that, man. Small hands. It was going to the Roman Catholic Church. That's where Esau's power came from when he came in the time of the Renaissance. His power birthed from the Roman Catholic Church, man, with Pope Alexander, the freak, man, and his son. What you got today being a Jesus Christos, man. Okay? These were people on the earth in the time of after the Byzantine Empire, okay, around the 1400s. They came into power and they lied and said they're God's people, man.
Straight freaks. Ugh. Reading on, it says Revelation 19 and 20. It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him.
Yep, again, Roman Catholic Church, what all modern religions stem from. Okay, go ahead.
With which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast.
Yep. So he deceived them. That entity, that power structure. Okay, it deceived them to take this MERK, man. whom the Lord warned to not take, man. What?
Yep. It says, and them that worship his image,
Yep.
these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone.
Exactly. So that's the consequence.
Yep.
You know? So you being deceived and taking the MLK, you're going to say, I didn't know. You know, a lot of people say, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man. It's done, man.
Right.
The Lord can do what he's going to do, but that's not a chance I want to take. You got the MLK talking about I didn't know. Past that point, man. You know, but again, going to how Esau's going to do it, it's going to play out as convenience, crisis. It's an emergency. You got to take this. Hurry, hurry, hurry. You know, that's what he did with the seed bin, man.
No.
Something big and bad. Something big and bad gonna happen before they make it mandatory.
That's facts.
Plus, you also got to throw in gradualism with everything this devil does. Yep.
You gotta be gradualism.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a shock factor.
Yeah.
You know, they'll turn on people's fight or flight instincts. Right?
You'll notice too much.
Mm-hmm.
Frog in the pot.
Precept.
Yep.
2 Corinthians 2:11. At least Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
So again, us being ignorant means not knowing. All right, what is his devices going to his plot? We know his energy. We know what Jake said. I know where you're coming from. You know, Esau comes up. You know, which Gad should have realized that the Gad that knew. You know, the elders. You know, the other they got killed off. You know, they knew that this man, because you're watching them certain type of movies, man.
Yep.
Like, and it always be the old heads. You know, never trust this guy. Who trust them? The young niggas, man.
Yep.
The YNs, man.
And turn on the old heads.
Yep.
They subvert authority.
Yep.
You know, for gifts.
Yep.
Those men would say that gifts blind the eyes of the wise.
Gift is still the hurt.
Movie Geronimo showed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So again, going to him
Never
and giving gifts. You know, that's how he's gonna deceive us. It's gonna be free.
Right.
The MOTB is gonna be free. You bet it's gonna be free, man. Just like the Juicy Juice was free with insurance.
They paid you.
They paid
Remember,
you.
they
I'm
was
gonna give you.
paying
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna give you a cheeseburger.
Damn.
Hey, bro, that video is so weak. He said, is it early enough in the morning to eat a cheeseburger?
He was up there eating he was stuffing fries in his mouth. You know?
Yeah, he was eating burger and
Yeah.
fries. He was already eating the fries. He was like, is it too early in the day to eat this cheeseburger? He said, you mean I get all of this? That's an act, bro.
Right. You saw the nigga woman. That's classic. I don't care what's in it. Just give it to me.
Those were the burgers you eat, and a few hours later, you got the bubble guts.
Yeah.
Like, man, my stomach feel weird.
And that's disrespectful and insulting.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I got a precept back in the bazaar. This is Sirach, also known as Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great or small. It's like I read that wrong. It says Ecclesiastes 5:15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great or a small.
Be not ignorant. You know, go into the details. So you know, the bigger picture is just small things adding up to it, man.
Right.
You know, so like brother said about gradualism. You know, the little things. Oh, it's just a little. You know, the Insurrection Act. It's just, you know, it's all leading to something bigger, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the little by little turns to big being. Now you got troops in your city, man. You know, which I don't know if it happened, but you had people, them boys over there in Charlotte, man.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
They said that they're going to be having some in Raleigh, man.
It's in the ice there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So same with that MRK, man. It's just a little, it's a little mark. And technology might, you know, advance so that it is small. It might be smaller than the chip, man. It might be smaller than the grain of rice. It might be nano.
Right.
You know, it might be so-called invisible. You won't see it, and that's going to people's defense now. You know,
Right.
they're gonna take that shit.
And it, you know, did you hear about? I know brothers heard about it, but like the with the I call it the monkey spit, but the C19. You know, certain states, which pretty much all states, they're putting them in their vegetables, man. You know,
Inject the animals with them too, right?
Yeah.
Cattle.
and putting in tomatoes and stuff, man.
Who's done, man?
You know
Imagine
why? Because your state has sold out. They're getting
Yep.
paid to put that stuff in the grocery store.
Yep.
On the higher cents.
Well, you remember when Trump, he was threatening the states, they wouldn't give him funding unless they participated in certain of his orders, man.
Yep.
You know, you're not gonna get federal funding. You're not gonna get support from your federal government if you don't play around, man, with the get down, man. You know.
Benito?
Wrapped up.
Yeah, it looks like it.
This place is done.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, it's
Go back
pretty
to
sure.
Thessalonians, we'll wrap up. Yeah, Revelation 20.
So
Get-
much.
Get well, yeah, they gotta come out.
You
Man.
got to,
They
bro.
gotta come out. Man. Somebody gotta warn. You know?
The prophets, we doing our job.
Exactly.
Everybody want to be podcasts.
Read 11 and 12.
What they say, dumb dogs that don't bark.
Yeah, exactly. You see,
You know?
like you said, there are some people that might not be at elite status, but they got bread. Think about Andrew Tate brothers. They know about this system.
Oh yeah,
They
they
know.
You know, but they're not warning because they're enjoying too much of their fruit of sinful season.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want they don't want their bank accounts to get froze.
Exactly. That's why they're playing ball now. Before they talked about the system and the matrix on this stuff. Now these niggas just at gyms
Yep.
and doing podcasts.
Because they got put on the level as a king for a small moment. The whole world knew about these guys. And they couldn't get rid of them. You know, because they had a following. Reposting their videos. You know, everybody was doing this. It was a bag. You got it, brothers.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 11. And for this cause, Yahweh shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie.
Yep, a strong delusion that goes into this wine, man. The wine of her fornication. That's the delusion. You know, the confusion, right? Mad, like you said, the nations are mad. All right, goes into you being drunk, man. Niggas is drunk out here, man. They're not sober. Saying Russia gonna come into power, or the nation can be saved. Or, you know, like they can drunk, man. That's a strong delusion that they made. What? It's so strong they believe it to be true. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 12, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
Damn. Meaning you're not going to be delivered. You're condemned. You're judged, man. Because why the word judges you, man. You start going off left and playing ball with the elites and taking the bag, and now you're sitting at the table with POCAP. Come on, man. You took the bag, man. You lay it down, man. And that's what happens over and over again. Jake might come out sincere, you know. They stand up for the lost people. Flock of straight, man. You know? But that's the whole point, man. The Lord got, again, the people that are blinded, because prophecy got to be fulfilled, man.
Yep.
If everybody knew what's going on, hey, the Lord would be a liar, man. You know, we say if you look like another heathen nation and you believe, you're an Israelite.
Exactly.
Like
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
yeah, you want to. It
don't matter what you look like.
Goofy as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care. You call the name of the Lord. You know His name. You know the prophecies, and you in tune with the Spirit. I can't say nothing against you.
Yeah.
People like that, man. I'm talking about Jake is so simple, man. But that's what we are. Prophecy, man. Everything is all of the Lord, man. It's all written. We see stuff happening. We're not confounded. Like what the hell? Like this is everything makes sense. You know, because the Lord is right on time with the schedule, and we know it's right at the door. Therefore, hey, therefore let us fear, man.
Done.
Say you can be an example too, man. You be outside the temple, asking what happened. Like Jay-Z, it was all good just a week ago type shit.
Damn.
What happened? You get Wisdom's on the 5th chapter. What happened? Men getting beamed up, man. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that, man. You know, well, I'll leave with that. Anybody got anything?
Nah.
So with that, hey, Lord's word is edifying. As always, we all praise to Heavenly Father, in the name of Son.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakwadash.